It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 3 of the NFL kicked off last night with Thursday Night Football in Buffalo as the Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 31-21 in an AFC East matchup. The Bills start the season 3-0 for the fourth time in 7 seasons. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are 0-3 for the first time since 2019. Bills quarterback Josh Allen threw for 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running back James Cook rushed for 108 yards and a touchdown, his second straight 100-yard rushing game of the season. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa threw a late interception, which sealed the deal for the Bills. In Titans news, Thursday's injury report is as follows. J.C. Latham, Bryce Oliver, and L'Jarius Sneed did not practice. Khalil Mullings, Devondre Sweat, Kevin Winston Jr., Jarvis Brownlee Jr., and Kevin Zeiler all listed as limited participants in practice yesterday. Titans will play this Sunday at Nissan Stadium as they host the AFC South Division rival, the Indianapolis Colts, with kickoff at 12 p.m. Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 a.m., and Titans Radio takes over at 11. All you can hear on 104.5 The Zone. In college football news yesterday, the SEC announced that they will reveal Tuesday all opponents for every team in its new 9-game schedule for football in 2026. The 3 permanent rivals will be referred to as annual opponents, and that will be reviewed every 4 years. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Friday morning, off and running on 104.5 The Zone. It's streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV. This is Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Scooter's Coffee is locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. A Friday cinnamon roll is the perfect way to celebrate the start of the weekend. No matter how you got here, maybe it was the best week ever. I hope it was. Maybe you're ready for this one to end. Well, you made it to the end of it, so congratulations. We'll celebrate with you properly today. We like to say it's Friday and we're going to act like it, so we plan to here on the program this morning. 615-737-1045, the number. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, where you get the faces for radio that are talking into microphones until 10 a.m. this morning. He's Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins, our producer. I'm Will Bowling. On this Friday, September the 19th, American tackle football is played in full this weekend. Good morning.
Morning, Will.
How we doing?
Man, we're good. Dude, I stopped this morning. It was a little later getting in. Nobody knew that until I told them, did they?
That's
Absolutely
okay.
not.
They do now.
I know.
Yeah, Jayhawk knew.
I took a note.
I grabbed that viral water, the sparkling one. A dude put his face in it. This
Viral water?
Yeah, I don't even want to
yeah.
show it. And I was just like, let me give this a shot. It actually tastes all right. This is what I'm just going to say. But I needed some sparkling water this morning just to settle my tummy down. I'm not sick or anything.
Oh.
You know, you just have it. I'm almost 40, okay? Indigestion situations.
I do, yes.
And I was just like, all right, let me get something to, burp a little bit. But, man, we're all good to go, man. How are you, though, Will?
Good.
You did a down and back yesterday.
Quick trip to Knoxville, quick trip back. I could have watched the volleyball game that I broadcasted 5 times in the time it took me to drive there and back.
It was that fast?
It was about an hour and 15 minutes.
I love that.
Met up with some friends for a quick meal and then came back home and was in bed at my normal time.
Okay.
It was really not that bad.
That's not bad at all.
It's kind of impressive.
That is. I'm very impressed, Will.
Uh-huh.
Man.
Yeah, I did learn, though, if you are, and the people that drive trucks are probably already aware of this, but I-40 right now, between Nashville and Knoxville, after 9 p.m., if you're doing that drive on a weekday after 9 p.m., there's going to be a lane closed. and it's going to happen over and over and over. I had a lot of standstill traffics last night, but we made it. We are back in one piece, and we are ready to go for a Friday morning.
Man, awesome. So yesterday, our team, our middle school team, announced that we won the division. We're basically going to play for the championship. We also get to host a banquet. I made a bet with one of my players. I always make a bet with the players.
Was it Garrett?
It wasn't Garrett this time. It was Colton. It was Colton.
Garrett and Colton.
Perfect. Man. So Colton was like, hey, Coach Foster, I heard you on the radio. I was like, yeah. Why? He's like, I heard you talk about Princess Hot Chicken. I was like, yeah, I endorsed them. This was like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I endorsed them, man. We got a relationship together. He was like, oh, well, hey, you should bring us some Princess Hot Chicken.
Classic.
I said, listen, you can't get anything for free out here, but know this: if you want a division, I'll cater the banquet we'll have in Princess Hot Chicken. So yesterday, Coach announced it, and I was like, hold up, Coach. I also got another announcement. Colton and I had a bet. He looked at me sideways. Like, this is a good one. I was like, he asked for Princess Hot Chicken if we won a division. So we'll be having Princess Hot Chicken. The boys were so excited.
Nice.
A lot of them were like, we've never had it before. I was like, your parents have wronged you. Okay, they have wronged you. Seriously, man. So there'll be a lot of hot chicken in the banquet sometime soon, man.
As accessible as good hot chicken is, and the best the original hot chicken and Prince's is nowadays, that's criminal.
That's criminal at this point. Well,
parents, we're looking at you.
I am. I'm looking at them sideways at this point, man. Legitimately, I'm looking at them sideways. But we will get that checked off their list, Will. So that was cool, man. Having the boys do stuff like that or chase down their little dreams and stuff, I appreciate them, man.
I'm glad to hear positive stories about middle schoolers because middle school kids can look at you in the face for about 30 seconds and immediately tell the thing that you're most insecure about.
Well, they don't care.
It's like, your nose looks weird. You're like, dang it, that's the one thing I was self-conscious about. How did you know that?
Yes.
Go away. go do your homework.
Where you get all those grades from, man? My dad doesn't have them yet.
You're like, what? Thanks, Colton.
Thanks, Colton.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Gerald.
Was having a good day this morning. Thanks for knocking me down to normal. My self-esteem was hovering around average. Thanks for knocking it down to -1,000.
You know what I don't understand about, and it's because they don't think, okay? It's because they don't think. We don't think as young boys, most definitely, but as middle school football
Some people
players,
would still say that about me.
Seriously, my wife still says about me, but that's neither here nor there. But what's crazy is it be the most simple things that they get in trouble for. We have these things called air mails. There's punishment after practice. You forget a jersey and you need to borrow one from coach, you're going to run air mails. You run, coach blows his whistle, you dive on the ground. Get up, run some more, coach blows the whistle, dive on the ground. I'm looking at them yesterday. We got kids that got progress reports, and they had, 1 or 2 bad grades, and they had to run air mails. We're going to make sure you understand education comes first.
Yeah.
You can whoop somebody's butt, but listen, you better whoop those grades even more, okay?
Sure.
Kids running them, and they're dying after practice, just dog tired, Will. I'm like, why do you have this grade in class? I'm really just asking them stuff. Now, why do you have this grade in your class? I didn't turn in work. That is the dumbest reason ever.
Kids aren't as creative with the excuses as they are as they used to be.
Well, so it was done. They don't turn in the schoolwork. That is the number one culprit for bad grades and for middle school boys. They don't turn in work. They don't even use my dog ate it anymore. They don't even have that one in the arsenal. I didn't turn in my work. Okay, well, run and hit the ground is what we tell you now.
Yeah, ours was in middle school. If we didn't turn in a single homework assignment, we got after-school study hall.
After school.
It's where you had to go to study hall for an hour, which meant you couldn't go to practice. So you had a blue sheet of paper you would have to take to your PE teacher, which for me was always cross-country and track. Or I did rugby for one period, but that was not optional. That was when I was like 80 pounds. I digress. And that was always a tough conversation to have with your coach because it was out of their control. And you just hand them the blue slip and be like, yeah, I have after-school study hall. It's like, all right, well, you're going to have to get your run done when you get home. And it's like, that was never a fun conversation. It was literally, you could just miss one homework assignment and just forget to do it. And bang, and blue sheet of paper.
That's the worst part about it.
I got PTSD.
Yeah, you did.
Over non-turned in homework assignments.
You shook right there, man.
That's like your whole world when you're 12.
No, straight up. It is. Absolutely. There's nothing else going on but that,
you
man.
forget to do your reading and,
oh my gosh.
Tough.
And that was another one, too. Oh, my God. Thank you for bringing that one up. One, summer reading. Everybody has it nowadays.
or August reading for many of us. Yeah, procrastinated.
I was terrible. I would cliff notes the heck out of something just so you know.
The internet was really kind and probably really unkind to the teachers towards the end there. A lot of my teachers listen to this show, so I probably shouldn't out myself. But no, I didn't really actually do that until I got really busy with other extracurricular stuff later in high school. I didn't let myself use the resources until like junior, senior year of high school.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was trying to use them. We used to buy the books though too.
Life's about survival. To understand understand how to get by.
Listen, man,
with minimal hours of the day.
Go outside, nerd. Yeah.
Ramon, that was mean.
Yes, it can be. But what I'm telling you is that also, and another one, D bring it up too. Like, little kids will jump in your conversations, like, no matter what. The coaches will be having a huddle, and you'll find one or two of them. Damari, he's the first one. I'm like, Damari, go over there, man. Like, you see the coaches are talking right now.
Well,
but I love my time out there.
Sure. Well, unfortunately, J.C. Latham, Bryce Oliver, and L'Jarius Sneed missed practice yesterday, not because they didn't turn in their homework, but because they are injured. As we transition to Titans and Colts, J.C. Latham out with his hip for the second straight practice. Bryce Oliver, a knee, second straight practice. And L'Jarius Sneed, back injury, missing practice for the second straight day. The good news, Jarvis Brownlee. Well, actually, no, that's not good news. Jarvis Brownlee had no designation on Wednesday. Jarvis Brownlee was limited on Thursday after not being on the injury report at all on Wednesday. Kevin Zeitler, that's the good news, was upgraded from a bicep injury non-participant to a limited participant yesterday. Kevin Winston Jr. limited, Tavondre Sweat limited, and Khalil Mullings limited for the second straight day.
Yeah. By the way, I saw Bryce Oliver's, his big tackle he had on special teams, his leg whipped forward. It looked bad. So I probably wouldn't count him playing this upcoming week. I'm also side-eyeing Sweat and doggone L'Jarius, too. That's two back-to-back.
I'm not as worried about L'Jarius.
Okay.
Based on what he said in the locker room the other day, kind of telling reporters, I'll be fine. Like,
it's
I'm
just
good.
his method now?
I think so. Sweat, I just need to see back out there, especially considering how important he is for this game in particular.
No doubt. He's got to figure out a routine. He's got to figure out that will, man. And again, these first 3 weeks are crucial. 4 weeks are crucial to this team's records, man. Like, this isn't if he's hurt, he's hurt. But if he can go some Tavondre is better than no Tavondre this week.
Live for the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio, Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. 615-737-1045 is our number. Coming up, what is the Titans' pathway to beating the Indianapolis Colts? If the Titans get their first win Sunday, what has to happen in order to do it? We'll talk about that next.
Man, I recently saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard agent and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustrations, they settled for less than they'd hoped. We've heard these stories all the time, man. But here's the other thing. The second owner, they chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list the home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowners moved into their new home before the old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and all the showings. Never settle for less, though. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com, and make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Friday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee and streaming live at 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Another weekend of dividing and conquering for Ramon and myself. However, we will be in the same stadium on Sunday. Not often that's going to happen this year.
It's not, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the entire gang, man. Great. I'm talking about great ceremony. I'm sure we hadn't even experienced it yet with Mike Keefe this upcoming weekend.
That's right.
I'm glad to be back in there, man. It's been a minute since I've been inside the stadium.
Ramon on the call for Tennessee UAB tomorrow, that we will talk about coming up here in 20 minutes. Loaded guest list again this morning. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest at 7:20. Stephen Godfrey, Yahoo Sports, College Football Inquirer, joins us for the 8 a.m. hour, talking college football in studio. Tate Matthews talks high school football week 5 at 9 a.m. And Ron Slay on the show at 9:20, as always, in the final hour of the week. Ramon Foster, what is the Titans' pathway to beating the Colts? If the Titans are to pull off the upset, how do they do it Sunday?
Slow walking the play down the field, the same as Miami tried to do last night to Buffalo. That's what I noticed about them. You knew you were the lesser team, or you had more challenges than they did. That's how I view this game right here. It needs to be offensively, run, pass, run again on third down to show them they're trying to establish the line of scrimmage. I think that's crucial. The biggest part is guys got to make plays when they come their way, too. If it is a combat catch, you have to bring that in this weekend. But I am of the mindset this week, get on schedule, because I feel like that Colts defense is expecting Cam to play off schedule. You've heard the linebacker just bring up some stuff. Zaire Franklin bring up, hey, I want him to throw that ball again. They're waiting for the eccentric off-schedule stuff for Cam Ward. I think if you look at last week's game also against the Rams, the way Cam was able to escape, the more and more he does those types of things, which is a part of his game, the more teams are going to be more keen to trying to stop it too. Boxing him in whenever he runs right, run left. I want to see him stay in the pocket this week, Will, and be able to be in a position where he just darts passes across the middle into the sideline quickly. I think that is the best pathway. And we didn't even talk about defensively. I honestly think they're going to be fine. More fine than the offense.
I think the Titans have a real challenge in this Colts offense, because this Colts offense puts themselves in advantageous positions on third down, which the Titans have struggled to stop teams that are putting themselves in 3rd and 4 or less. The Titans need to be in predictable passing situations for their defense to be able to rush the passer on third down and not have a quarterback that can get the ball out of their hand as quickly as they can. I was reading a little bit. Warren Sharp had some good stuff on this, talking about on early downs, the Colts are the best team in the league this year. Number 1 in success rate, number 1 in passing success, number 5 in rushing success, number 1 in EPA per play, which is a fancy analytic to just say value added per first down play. They are number 1 in all those categories on early downs. On first downs, Ramon, the Indianapolis Colts average 262.5 yards per game just on their first down plays.
That's crushing.
That is number 1 in the NFL. The Titans are 28th in that category for perspective. The Titans on first downs have averaged 98 yards per game already this season. So number 1, the biggest thing you have to do in this football game, you have to be better on early downs on both sides of the football. So this pass rush needs predictable situations to get after the quarterback. This offense needs to get out of predictable situations. Coach Mack has said it every time we've spoken with him as we've broken down games. We've said it time and time again. The way this offensive line is struggling, the timing with which Cam Ward is still holding onto the ball longer than you would like him to in a lot of scenarios, and the lack of separation your receivers have gotten before really good pass rushers have been able to be in the backfield, all of that is helped by being better on first and second down and putting yourself in third and much more manageable.
Yeah. And Taylor's also brought that up a little bit with us yesterday, too. Cam's holding on to the ball is affecting him, too. His efficiency of operating this offense got to go. Again, I continually go back to the first couple of weeks of OTAs when he was just getting the ball. That was boring, to be quite honest, for us to be out there because there wasn't much excitement to it. But you bring that part up, too. My question is, when is the real version of the offensive line we saw in training camp going to show up? I think that pays dividends too, Will, is can they move bodies up front the way we saw them doing the preseason?
Honestly, until they get their first 5 back, I don't know if it's going to show up.
Yeah. Well,
Because the right tackle position all of a sudden is a problem.
Again.
Without J.C. Latham being out there.
4 years in a row. And this one was actually, you actually had an answer to this one. You can't help that guys get hurt and actually have a real injury in J.C. Latham. It just sucks, man. And defensively, too, Jonathan Taylor has had good games already this year. He's been good.
Back in the league so far this year.
Yes. He's been good in the passing game and in the running game. Like Cody Barton's ability to cover him or guys that are dropping the zone to box him in has to be a part of it too, because when he gets going, he doesn't seem like the type of running back that has breakaway speed, but he does. He continually gets explosive plays of 20-plus yards in the run and the pass, and I still look at him and say, you look like a bigger running back. And that's the thing, too. He brings power to his game. Who's going to be the more physical team this weekend to stopping the run, I think, has to pay his dividend. And if Tavondre's in a position where he's not finishing practice, I'm a little concerned about who's going to be playing in his position and how the run stopping is going to be a part of it. The Colts will, I feel like, try to come in here because there's so many unknowns about Cam and try to milk the clock as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, again, the Colts, the number 2 total offense, the number 2 passing offense, number 3 rushing offense. Jonathan Taylor leads the NFL in rushing with 436 yards. We've given the stat over and over, but it is still relevant that with Jeffrey Simmons and Tavondre Sweat both on the field last season, the Titans defense allowed 4.3 yards per carry. That jumped to 5.2 yards per carry with neither of them on the field and 4.7 with just Sweat or just Simmons. That's a significant difference per rush.
Yeah.
This is a game you really need Tavondre Sweat for. Because, again, like if you can't stop on early downs, those inside runs from Jonathan Taylor or the RPO game, the intermediate passing game from Daniel Jones on 1st and 10, and they're able to set up 2nd and 2, well, that's where you get shot plays. And then that's where you get either, hey, I'm taking a shot downfield, or I'm just running it again and getting myself a new set of downs, and then let's run it back. Like it's just, you're constantly behind the 8 ball, and you can't scheme up pressure packages that put your defense in the best position to be successful. When you look at this Titans defense, though, what gives you the optimism they're able to slow the Colts down? Do you feel like they're fool's gold a little bit?
I don't, because the numbers are telling us that they're actually real in everything they're doing. The team that they played last week, the Broncos, the Titans went toe-to-toe with them also. And what you got to look at is the Colts were actually able to win that. Now, I know it's because of technicality of a penalty at the end of the game, but they still won that. That gives you more momentum. The other part for me is the efficiency of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, if he was teetering 60% or 55% completion percentage, then I have a problem. It's like, okay, the shoe is going to drop at some point. He's actually very efficient. He's almost 72% completion percentages with the passes that he's thrown so far.
72% completion is a 20% increase from Anthony Richardson.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So is that part of the offense on top of the running? Like we saw them win last year with more running and more close to the line of scrimmage plays with the Colts. Now they're actually able to throw the ball down the field and complete stuff and getting confidence in Daniel Jones.
Sure.
And so you asked me what part of this team do I feel like you can take advantage of? I would say I'm looking at the Titans linebacker, the second levels of defense. Like if you're able to get to Jonathan Taylor quickly, if you're able to at some point drop in coverage and trick Daniel Jones and that offense, I think that is your best play. L'Jarius showed us that he can lock guys down, but here's the part. Who's going to lock everybody else? So I'm looking at the linebacker in the front 7, to be completely honest with you, stepping up this week because it's got to be. You got to get Indianapolis off schedule.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, some of the numbers. I mean, again, Sharp Football Analysis and Warren Sharp writing about this. 50% of Daniel Jones's first down passes have been for first downs. The league average is 27%. 50% of his first down passes have given them first down yardage. He is number 2 in the league in yards per attempt on first downs. So that is certainly where Indy has been excellent. First downs is where they are tremendous, and it's why they haven't punted all season, which is still insane to me. Can Brian Callahan use some more of that strategy for Cam Ward? Can the Titans open it up in the pass game more on early downs for you, Ramon?
Can they? Yeah. I think if you have the guys that can protect or
to me, that feels like the next step is I want to get into this more because it feels really hard to game plan for Cam Ward. Because the best moments of Cam Ward are plays you probably didn't draw up, are things that he does to extend plays and to create. And, hey, let's move the pocket around and let Cam cook a little bit. The Titans' best pathway to success on offense, with a banged-up offensive line, with a banged-up second running back who's going to be back hopefully soon, and Tajay Spears, who I think was always going to be a major part of this offense this season in the pass game, with Calvin Ridley, who's not quite Calvin Ridley yet. The Titans' best pathway to success is just let Cam be Cam. There's a lot of risk that comes with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unknown that comes with that. But, Ramon, at what point do you just say, all right, let's open up the playbook more on first and second down. We might take some 10-yard sacks, but we also might hit some 30-yard gains off schedule because Cam extends the play and does something crazy.
The first part of that breakdown is what is most problematic. We might take some 10-yard sacks. You can't.
Because it was a 16-yard sack in Denver.
I know.
And he's not immune to those yet.
But
might never be.
If we're trying to say this team needs to get some schedule, that's actually working in the total opposite direction of what Cam needs, so too.
That's the catch-22 Brian Callahan has, is like, we've got to put ourselves in 3rd and 5 or less way more consistently. But also, we got to take our shots when we can, when the defense is not sitting on it, with the understanding that we can be unpredictable on first and second down and catch the defense napping a little bit.
Yeah. But taking shots, like those 50-50 balls, heck, it might even be 30-70 for the most part, though. You got to have guys that can get open, long enough time for them to get down the field, and guys that you believe will actually deliver for you. That's the issue for me when trying to let Cam cook. I think it has to come organic. If coach like Callahan has said he has the ability to make checks. Callahan has said, like, his freedom to roam left and right is on him, too. It's a matter of who is actually coming back to the football for him and who's scheming open. Do they have enough of that cohesion to where Cam can point and put guys in certain situations? The way we watched Josh Allen last night, like the way he was a threat to the defense with his legs, with his arm also, I think put the Dolphins on their heels, man. They didn't know what to do with him. So I'll say this. Until he start making those plays consistently, I don't think defenses are going to respect it as much. Because, again, with the trickeration that he's had, it's still only been 1 touchdown in 2 games. That's the part of letting Cam cook to where I don't think it's been very advantageous for this team. He lost a lot of yards in Denver, only 1 score in 2 games, and I feel like it's on Callahan and the offensive coordinators to find a rhythm for this team more than it is about letting Cam cook. It's too early for me, and it exposes him too much to letting him get hit. Now, he goes out and have a Houdini type of day. Now we got to start game planning a little bit different, but that has to happen. Callahan can't just say, hey, go do your thing.
Jack on YouTube says, I'm against that because we need process over results. Keep the training wheels on because he has to be forced to play within structure. We can't teach him it's 100% okay to play out of structure. That's teaching a bad habit. While I understand and can relate to some of what you're saying, process over results doesn't help Brian Callahan. Process over results doesn't help this organization that is fighting and scratching and clawing to win games. It's a really difficult situation to be in because letting Cam be the best version of himself is letting him go out there and make some plays that are going to make you pull your hair out. That's what you signed up for when you drafted him.
This is true.
So if you want to let Cam be Cam, you got to be okay with him doing a lot of things that make you really uncomfortable in the same way that you're yelling, no, 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 yes, on the touchdown throw to Elikai Manor on Sunday. There's not an easy answer to this. And either side of it, again, this is why we're talking about there are going to be moments where you have to just let Cam loose and say, good luck, go do something crazy. And there are also going to be moments where you have to tell him to play within structure. The challenge for this coaching staff and for Cam and this offense is picking and choosing the moments to take risks. What I'm seeing, Ramon, is a team that's got to win Sunday before they go on the road for 3 games and then play Mike Vrabel. Yeah. They've got to do whatever it takes to win this football game. And if that means teaching some bad habits and playing out of structure, so be it. At this point, I'm willing to let Cam be Cam and say, let's see what you got. Let's take the training wheels off a little bit more.
I
think he's earned it.
I got you.
Because I think he's throwing the ball accurately. I think he's been more decisive. I think he is struggling with more of the check down reads when he does stand in the pocket and has a stable pocket around him. Like, he's still bailing out and running when he's got check down options available to him, because I think he is pressing so much to make a play because of how much he feels like he has to do it himself.
That's such a strong play, Will. It's that is such a strong play to just say, here, take it, lead us. Because I feel like that's been his game since he's gotten here, but it's more real now. Defenses are actually scheming for him. This isn't him versus his own defense, and if the issue with Cam being him is him adjusting to the speed of the league, too. If Callahan does allow that to happen where he can free range, or Cam just take it upon himself, we might as well scrap the entire ship at that point, though, too, because the exposure of him getting hit or something freakish happening to him, Callie's the only culprit to get blamed in that situation. Yeah. And that's what sucks. Like you said, but
he's also going to get blamed if they score 13 points again at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Like, at some point, you're going to have to start taking risks because this team has got to start building a little bit of momentum.
That's a strong play. I'm not against it. I just want you to know that. I'm not against it because the need to win is high. It is immense on, I feel like, Callahan's hand. This is where he was last year again. Remember how emotional he got after the win?
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be feeling that same pressure now. And the honesty of this is the team's just not set to compete the way others are right now. Nobody, at least in my mind, I didn't know Indianapolis offensive line was going to retool the way it did. I didn't know Daniel Jones. Like, we knew that he could be something, but I feel like Anthony Richardson, being a part of that conversation, put a lot of doubt into what the Colts could be. He's facing all the teams that were bad that overnight, it seems like, got good.
Right.
He has no equal comparison. This team doesn't at this point.
So what does this look like practically when we say things like open up the offense, let Cam cook, let Cam be himself? The Titans this season on first downs have thrown the football 21 times. That ranks 27th in the NFL. Only the Texans, Ravens, Vikings, Jets, and Eagles have thrown it less on first downs than the Tennessee Titans. A lot of those teams also have elite run games.
Yeah, they do.
Is the other part of it. Or basically a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota, who is struggling as well. And they're probably having a lot of the same conversations there. That to me is where you start to say, all right, can we be a little bit less predictable on first downs? And to be fair, I think Brian Callahan has tried more things on first and second down than he has in the past. But at what point do you just throw things out the window and say, we're going to live and die by number one? Yeah. I thought this was interesting last night. I was listening to Josh Pate's college football show on my drive back, and Cole Kubelik is always on Thursdays. And I thought about all of this because of a point that Cole made about Cam Ward. They were talking about Carson Beck of the Miami offense, and Cole made the point saying Carson Beck is doing a lot of timing and rhythm and over the middle of the field, and he's playing within a structure of the offense where he was like, I did that Pop-Tart Bowl game last year. Shannon Dawson, the OC, would tell us about Cam Ward to be like, I had to learn how to game plan for him because you can give him a plan, and it doesn't mean he's going to do it. And he said, I kind of had to learn how to be okay with Cam Ward being like, what do you think? All right, that worked. All right, let's do it again. Cam Ward's got to be a difficult guy to game plan for as a coach. And I'm not making any excuses for anyone. That's the reality of the situation for guys who have been really successful or not. Because, Ramon, what do coaches love? Control.
Yeah.
Coaches love control. And with Cam Ward, they don't have it. So that's the tricky thing that Brian Callahan's going to have to learn from a feel point of view is, how do I put this guy in the best position to be successful when he might run out of that position and try to do something totally different on any given play?
Tempo. That's how. Get him at the line of scrimmage. Let him undress guys.
I like that.
Quick snap and go. Like that. Because if the protection's not what you want it to be anyway, defense they got to go base and tempo. That's the other part of it also is you have to go base as a defense because you're not sure what they're going to present you with or keep them at the line of scrimmage. But it also has to come with no pre-snap penalties and no drops because at that point teams can switch out their personnel and get to where they want to. You make a valid point. Are we there in week 3 to feel this pressed?
Yes.
Okay.
To Eric's point, he says Titans also don't have a lot of first downs. Okay, fair enough. Pass percentage on first downs, 45.7%. The Titans pass 20th most of the NFL on first downs this year. So Fair point. But still, they are in the bottom half of the league in terms of the amount of pass plays they are running on first downs, which also, you got to look at game state. They've been behind, which also is going to inflate the amount of times you're throwing on first downs because you have been trailing in 2 games. So again, you really are more like bottom 5 to bottom 10 of the league in terms of how much you are throwing it early on in drives and early on first downs. 615-737-1045. We'll get Joe on the phones. Plus, Ramon Foster's keys for Tennessee UAB. What do you want to see from the Vols tomorrow when you are in Knoxville broadcasting it for the Vol Network? We'll talk about it next.
Something awesome is happening at Genesis Diamonds. This Friday or today through Sunday, this offense has got me thrown off with the Titans. We got to figure out what's going on. Maybe they need a big bonus on this weekend, man. But I've been telling you about this for over a week now, man. It's a 3-day designer engagement ring event showcasing the world's top 2 brands in bridal jewelry, Tacori and Verragio. Tacori from California, Verragio from New York, both here with their entire lines, including all new rings for this special event. You can explore hundreds of exquisite American-made designer rings. Plus, Genesis will have special incentives, 0 interest financing up to $5,000 in instant savings. In addition, Genesis has an expanded selection of GIA-certified diamonds for this 3-day event. All shapes, all sizes, rock bottom prices, though. This is the best of the best. Every Tacori ring is handcrafted by master artisans with exceptional quality. Every Verragio ring is made by hand with unmatched attention to detail. These are brands other jewelers only wish they could offer. But at Genesis, they have the entire Tacori and Verragio collections. And they'll be on display this weekend. So don't miss the bridal jewelry event of the year. It's today, tomorrow, and Sunday at Genesis Diamonds. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Put Lee Company on your team and stay ahead of the game with home maintenance, repairs, and more. What's going on? It's Will Boulding. For as little as $14 a month, become a Lee Company Plus member and receive 4 annual visits to your home for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical systems. Even better, Lee Company Plus members receive up to 20% off on every visit and enjoy priority service. So you can learn more online at leecompany.com/plus. Look, if you're like me and you're the kind of person that when you try to fix things around the house, then things that were working the way they're supposed to just stop working. You need Lee Company on your team. You need to do what I do and trust the folks who have got 80 years of experience here in Middle Tennessee. And with this membership, it's scheduled out. It's routine. It's 4 annual visits for your heating, your air conditioning, your plumbing, electrical systems. Things work the way that they are supposed to. Platinum home protection starts with a Lee Company Plus membership online at leecompany.com/plus. That's Lee Company, all you need. Friday morning, good morning, Will. Fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. I have a declaration, Ramon.
What is that? Well,
today's calories count half. Half.
Okay.
Y'all go crazy. Cinnamon rolls for everyone. Scooters Coffee. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. We're going to get Joe and Chuck in here on the phones talking Titans, 615-737-1045. Also want to get Ramon's keys against Tennessee UAB on what you want to see. Let's start with Joe the trucker in Columbia, Missouri this morning. What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Excellent.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I listen to a podcast that I really like called Two Tone Podcast. It's Tennessee Titans podcast. I think the guy's from like Alabama or something like that. But I really like it, and he doesn't have many followers, so I just want to give him a shout out real quick. But really good guy. But anyway, he asked a question last Sunday, which was, what is Brian Callahan good at? And it got me thinking, and I started digging and kind of doing some research, and I found something that Brian Callahan is really good at, and it's not good. So Brian Callahan currently has the second most field goals. The Tennessee Titans, Brian Callahan, has the second most field goals in the NFL this year. It's interesting because do you know who's in first place for the most field goals in the NFL this year?
First place?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
So the Indianapolis Colts have like 10 or 11, and the Titans have like 8 or 9. But what scares me about Sunday is the Colts also have like 5 or 6 touchdowns, and the Titans have 1. So,
Yeah.
I'm nervous. This team does not seem like a good football team. I'm really, really nervous. I feel like the Colts could come in here and totally screw it up, and the Titans will just give it back to them. And I don't think there's anything Cam Ward can do about it.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Joe. Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
the
you,
call.
Joe. Thanks for the call, Joe.
I think the thing on Callahan is the grade is still incomplete for me at this point. It's like if you were taking the ACT and you know that you're going to be best in the math portion or be later in the test, but I picked up your paper a third of the way through the test and graded it. Well, you might have failed. Yeah. But you also only took a third of the test that if I let you finish, you might have made a 28. You might be getting that scholarship money. Like, that's the problem with right now saying, like, well, what is this team good at? What does Brian Callahan do that? For me personally, Ramon, we haven't had enough time to learn what the strengths of this staff and what the strengths of the team are. Now, that time is running out. Like, you got to show and prove it. You got to go out there and build a game plan to win some more football games. But they know that. And at this point, I mean, we are just a couple of weeks into year 2.
I guess that's a good question to ask. You said build a game plan to win. Sometimes the game plan does win, right? Like, it's that part of it, too.
It almost did in Denver.
I know. And that's the point of it all.
Made some critical errors in that game.
So what causes, to your point, Callahan to be judged on his work is if the Denver game plan was good, you were toe-to-toe with the Rams before it got bad. 4th down run by Puka Nacua was – you can't have that happen. But how does Callahan draw up a game plan that says, know what, this is bulletproof and we're going to win this upcoming weekend?
Especially when guys are open, Ramon.
Yeah.
Like, the scheme
That
is getting
sucks.
players open. And that's not all on Cam. I mean, ultimately, yes, the coaching staff is responsible for, hey, Cam, on these plays, you've got to check it down here. Mm-hmm. Like, ultimately, the coach is responsible, and the organization, the front office is responsible for who is on the field. But at the same time, there has to be a level of progression and a level of addressing your weaknesses from last year that's going to happen. And that's got to start Sunday against the Colts because the schedule is going to be challenging over the next month when you go on the road for 3 straight. Phoenix, Vegas, Houston, not in that order.
This is problematic for Coach because, like you said, you feel like this year he gets a mulligan based on all things that happened with the quarterbacks, the instability of the team, firing of the GM that brought you in, or one of the GMs that brought you in, and lo and behold, you got a rookie quarterback now. I'll say this though, I've been holding on to this one. I don't even know if I want to say it, but I'm going to say it. This situation that the Titans are in with the quarterback situation with a rookie quarterback, I've held on this for about a week. But what I say is this. If you change coaching staffs, I think you make Cam mediocre. Here's the reason why. If you change coaching staff, does one of Borgonzi or Brinker also leave? If Borgonzi or Brinker leave and you also have a new coaching staff, that means you also probably have new philosophies of players and an offense that Cam has to learn again. This will be Cam's 4th or 5th new offense if he does switch after this year with Coach Callahan. The type of players that you want to bring in. That coach is also going to have to be given time. Miss Amy's going to have to pay Callahan to leave, and then you guys also pay a new coaching staff, a new staff. It puts you more in the red than it does anything else with him. I'm not denying that I think Cam can be a good player, but what I'm saying is this. In the NFL, this many resets of an offense kind of sets guys up for failure. Philosophy, structure, culture.
Yep.
Everything involved, and I think the one person that's going to take the biggest hit or could is Cam. Then the other part for me, and I know we're supposed to be doing my key to the game.
We'll get to it in a minute.
The other part for Cam is if you got an offensive head coach right now, you're probably going to bring in a defensive head coach, right?
Maybe.
Usually this is how it works. Let's just go with my real quick hypothetical. It's probably going to be a defensive head coach to reset culture, set and establish something. So who's going to be your offensive coordinator? Cam's got a new voice or voices that he's also got to go deal with too. And then you got to also change the offense. What is the offensive line going to look like? You know you're going to need a new right guard at some point. You got probably one more year with Dan. Then Tony Pollard, I think, is cuttable after this year too. So as much as it probably makes sense to a lot of people to fire Callahan or want him out or, hey, pass off the play calling duties, I think the boat takes on more water if you do fire Callahan. And maybe that is the answer maybe that's what's supposed to happen. I don't know, but I've thought about this like all of this week, just like you got to go defensive head coach. You got to bring up a coordinator. Who's going to be the coordinator? Does that coordinator work out? We've seen now in Houston, C.J. Stroud didn't like his coordinator. He got a new coordinator right now. How is it looking for C.J. Stroud and the Texans?
Not good.
I'm just painting that. I'm not saying that Cam can't go be him. But I think you hurt Cam's growth if he's got to learn a brand new offense, and it's got to be a brand new offense because this is all Callahan's. Cam's not established to say, like, hey, I like this part of Callahan's offense. Keep this, keep this, keep this. It's all new again.
It's true. It is important to maintain continuity, which means it's important to win games like this in order to put yourself in the position to sustain what you are already doing. Meaning having the staff be a part of things for years to come. This is a big game on Sunday. It's a really big game on Sunday to build some momentum and have good feelings getting on that plane in a week to go to Houston for another divisional game. 2 divisional games this early in the season. This staff is going to learn what it has and how it can adjust on the fly to the strengths of what this team can do. Mm-hmm. We'll get to Chuck and Gallatin next. 615-737-1045. Ramon's keys for Vols and UAB. What he wants to learn. Much more still to come in hour 2 next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, man. Whether you have old, drafty windows or cheap, builder-grade windows, now is the best time to replace your windows, man. Protect your home ahead of the fall and winter weather. You can get replacement windows from Window Nation. They make it that easy, man. They're top quality, energy-efficient windows, and they are from a trusted company at a reasonable price. Window Nation, no, man, replacing windows is an investment. But, Will, they want to make it affordable to everybody.
They want to make it affordable, Ramon, but the people are going to have to hurry because this sale ends September 30th. Save big this month. Buy 2 windows, and you'll get 2 for free. No payments for 2 years. You won't have to deal with monthly payments, a down payment, or interest until 2027. But you've got to move fast. 866-DOWNY-NATION is the number to call. 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory. You get a 20-point inspection of every window when it's installed. Check them out online, windownation.com. Schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation. Save big this month. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free online at windownation.com. What's up? Will Bowling here, talking more about my new obsession. Daisy French onion dip is terrific. It's my guilty pleasure during football season, whether I am eating or drinking in parking lots, whether I am at home at a friend's place, grilling out, watching the game at a watch party. This time of year, it's not just football season, it's dip season. Chips, wings, veggies, all of it tremendous while you're watching the big game. Well, the best dip out there right now is from Daisy. Daisy French onion dip, the Daisy ranch dip, also terrific. They are as delicious as a homemade dip. You're going to be amazed when you dip a chip in there, dip some of those wings in there, you pop to the air fryer. It's going to taste like you made it. Maybe if you're good at cooking. If you're not good at cooking, it's going to taste a lot better than that. Real herbs and spices, other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen as well. The best news is it's all around you. Grocery stores everywhere. Stop by a local grocery store. Check it out. Daisy French onion dip. That's Daisy French onion dip at a grocery store near you.
It is 7:03. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Friday. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 3 of the NFL kicked off with Thursday Night Football last night in Buffalo as the Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 31-21 in an AFC East matchup. The Bills start the season 3-0 for the fourth time in 7 seasons. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are 0-3 for the first time since back in 2019. Bills quarterback Josh Allen threw for 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running back James Cook rushed for 108 yards and a touchdown, his second straight 100-yard rushing game this season. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa threw a late interception, which sealed the deal for the Bills. In Titans news, Thursday's injury report is as follows. J.C. Latham, Bryce Oliver, and L'Jarius Sneed all did not practice yesterday. Khalil Mullings, Tavondre Sweat, Kevin Winston Jr., and Jarvis Brownlee Jr. were listed as limited, and Kevin Zeitler upgraded from did not practice on Wednesday to limited participant in yesterday's practice. Titans will play this Sunday at Nissan Stadium as they host AFC South Division rival, the Indianapolis Colts. Kickoff set for 12 p.m. Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 a.m. and Titans Radio takes over at 11. You can, of course, hear all of this on 104.5 The Zone. In college football news yesterday, the SEC announced that they will reveal Tuesday all opponents for every team in its new 9-game football schedule for 2026. The 3 permanent rivals will be referred to as annual opponents, and that will be reviewed every 4 years. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, Hour 2 on this Friday. We're fueled by Scooters Coffee, as always. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. We'll get to Chuck. And who else we got on the phones, Justin? Is this Rue?
Rue.
We'll get to Rue and Chuck in a minute.
Another trucker
on the phones and get back to the Titans. Because you guys are calling in to talk Titans, so we'll let you get your thoughts in. But we promised people some keys from Ramon Foster for Tennessee UAB, aside from winning the game, which is going to happen tomorrow afternoon in Neyland Stadium. Ramon, what kind of growth, what kind of performance, who are you watching most closely tomorrow as the Vols take on UAB?
I'm watching the Vols on how they box in Jalen Kitna. He's up to, I think, 72% completion percentage right now. He's a senior. He's also a guy that was recruited by the University of Tennessee under Jeremy Pruitt at the time. That ought to tell you a whole lot. But he was recruited under Jeremy Pruitt at the time. This guy knows how to play ball. He's 6'5". He's got NFL pedigree through his father. And he is slinging the football around right now. He's very efficient. And what you cannot have is him this upcoming weekend feeling as if he can go into the combine situation if he goes pro this year and say, hey, look at my Tennessee tape. They got to be able to get off on 3rd and 4th down. Teams have absolutely daggered this defense as far as being able to throw or set up manageable 4th down situations to gain. Right now, he's averaging about 297 passing yards a game. Get him off the field. This team will be physical. This team will be fight. They don't have the depth that the Vols have. But to me, make him very uncomfortable this upcoming weekend. He needs to feel his head be pressurized going into it by the time this game is done.
Yep. No doubt. I like it. I think Tennessee certainly moves into a position where you want to see more from your young edge rushers and continue the momentum from your pass rushers, who I thought were terrific against those bad Georgia tackles.
Yeah.
And on defense, I want to see Tennessee be better on 4th down. Tennessee's allowed 5 4th down conversions this year. They allowed 7 all of last season. This is a UAB team that will likely be aggressive and go for it a few times. Look like the superior opponent.
Yeah.
Also, how about the news yesterday that Jim Chaney's on staff at Tennessee?
Big time.
Senior offensive analyst for Vols football.
Let me ask you this. Does it look like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like Josh Heupel has been really open to outside ideas and open to a lot of guys joining that staff. I think Seth Luttrell is a great addition. I don't think Seth Luttrell is an OC, but I think he's a good offensive mind and some of the Josh Heupel trusts.
Landry Jones was at it.
Landry Jones as well.
Defensive
Alan
analyst.
Williams on defense.
Yes.
I mean, I think Josh Heupel is quietly putting together a really good support staff off the field that is allowing that team and coaching staff to take the next step.
That was the biggest thing we spoke about. And this is the Joel Klatt point at him, though, too. Like, he's showing that this offense is evolving.
I saw Brooks Austin, the film guy that does a lot of YouTube breakdowns, did a film study of the Tennessee low red zone offense.
Yeah.
He said, if you still think this is a high school offense, you're just not watching the film. Said they're doing NFL concepts way more commonly, and especially in the red zone. They're just running NFL stuff now.
Yep.
Let's go to Chuck in Gallatin talking Titans this morning, 615-737-1045. Hey, Chuck.
What up, Chuck?
Well, I'm not going to talk Titans. I'm just going to say it like it is. I ain't going to sugarcoat it.
Oh.
I ain't going to water it down. And you can't mix Tennessee. You can't get the two confused. It's Tennessee Volunteers in the state of Tennessee. It's all about the Vols, you know. Titans suck, man.
Oh,
It
come on,
starts
Chuck.
with the head coach, head GM. I mean, are we actually paying him? Man, somebody needs to put his ass on the picket line.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Chuck.
We gonna talk to him. I'm gonna pass the word to him, Chuck. I promise you.
We're going to know of him as Fed Up Chuck in
Fed up
Gallatin.
Chuck. Yeah.
That's Fed Up Chuck
Oh my God.
this morning.
Chuck said, I'm confused too. Chuck, I told Will, I don't think it'll always be like this, Chuck. The Titans gonna put some pride back into you, Chuck. The Titans at some point, Chuck, they gonna circle the wagons up in Gallatin.
Chuck called in thinking it was Monday. He's fed up with somebody.
That's crazy. He ending the week.
It's
like
Friday.
this.
We're not acting like it
And
properly.
I'm not even pushing back on you, Chuck. You feel how you feel. Chuck fed up.
Let's go to Rue up next. What's up, Rue?
What's up, Will and Ramon? How y'all doing this morning, man?
We're great.
We good, Rue. I played against a Rue in middle school, man. He was a shooter from the 3-point line, man.
Well, it sure wasn't me, Ramon. I'm 48 years of age, man.
No doubt, Rue. Good
I
morning.
met you, Ramon, at my son's middle school game at Whipper Brant. When T.W. Hunter came and played, you and your wife got some really, really nice people. I want to say that right off the bat. real
Appreciate
quick.
that, man. We try to raise them right.
But
up.
I got something for Chuck and the rest of these Titan haters. This man, it's his first year. And what you said was true, Ramon. Give this man an opportunity to be with a coach. Mm-hmm. Now, we get another year down the road. Hey, maybe. But give this man an opportunity to get some camaraderie with a coach instead of doing what we did to Will Levis. Well, what the program, what the sport did to Will Levis. Mm-hmm. You know, I see it on a smaller scale with our kids as far as our freshman team. And you got to give these coaches an opportunity to do them, to show you what they can do.
Yep.
And it's hard for me because with my kids, that is, because I'm a coach myself.
Yeah.
I coach flags. A little different game. It's kind of like 5-on-5, but 7-on-7 minus 2 kids. That's all it is. 7-on-7 minus 2 kids, no pads with flags. But you got to give the coach an opportunity. You got to give Cam an opportunity. Y'all just back up and relax. Right? I'm not going through the Aaron Rodgers bid. Just relax.
Yeah.
Give this man an opportunity. And like Ramon just said, it stated well. You know, we know there's a hole in the boat. If we get rid of Callahan right now, we have no hope, y'all.
Thank you, Rue. Appreciate the call.
Rue
I'm
was a
sorry
poet
to
right
sorry to
there.
cut you off there, but we got a guest on the other side. We got to keep it moving. But I think those are all fair points.
Chuck brought the positive. I mean, Rue brought the positive.
I think those
back
are all
out.
fair points.
Appreciate you, Rue.
Let's quickly go to Zach in Hendersonville for his weekly poem that has become a thing on Fridays. What's up, Zach?
What's up, Zach?
Good morning, Will, Ramon, J-Hawk. Yeah, I just have a few things to say about some Blazers. Let's get it. All right, Roddy, you almost had it. Canton, White.
Freaking bum.
Joe, yeah, we don't remember you, Webb.
Freaking bum.
All right, that's the list. On to the poem.
That was fast.
That was quick.
I have a short poem for the entire University of Alabama, Birmingham, and it goes, are you Dragons or a Chevy? Vols defense, heavy, real heavy. Vols Nation going to be singing Trent Dilfer Rocky Top and Bye, Bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Ball's going to be sipping whiskey and rye, and the Blazers going to be singing, "This'll be the day that I die. It don't matter.
Balls by 50.
Thank you, Zach.
Let's go."
Zach, that's some of your best work, I'm going to be honest with you. That was one of my favorites, actually. Wow, Zach brought it for UAB. What did UAB do to Zach? I don't know, but I'm glad they did. Coming up, Brent Hubbs of AllQuest talks Tennessee UAB next.
Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken. They know a thing or two about hot, so they are bringing you the hottest moments of the week from Ramon and Will. Justin Hawkins here. This is a segment I like to call Prince's Hot Mic.
I'm going to stand up for, yeah, Dabo. I'm just 55. I wasn't even supposed to win.
Oh, man.
Man, listen, and I'm taking names of all y'all that denied me. Every single one of y'all that said we was down. I went to the national championship 4 times, and I won 2 of them, and I wasn't even supposed to win. Dabo, stand up when you talking trash like that. You know who he remind me of?
Who's that?
Baby Billy. Go outside, nerd.
Hot mics and hot chicken. Prince's knows hot. Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken.
Ramona Will, the 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, pleased to be joined, as we are every Friday at this time, by our very good friend, Brent Hubbs, VolQuest on 3, Vol Network, who joins us. What's up, Brent? Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. How we doing on this Friday?
Oh, we are excellent. It has been good to move on to a new football game. But let's talk a little bit about Georgia, Brent, because
I was going to say, Will, really?
I know.
Have we really moved
Ramon and I, Brent, have looked at each other so many times like, oh, all right, we got to move on. We got to move on. How's the team been this week? Because I'm curious just the mood and the mix of anger you let kind of hover to motivate you, but also they got to move on because they got bigger fish to fry now the rest of this football season.
Well, I think you like the fact that you're playing because that makes it easier because you get back into your routine. And two, I think you like the fact that you're playing a team you're heavily favored over. So I can tell you that I think this team has done fine. You could hear it in Miles Kitselman's voice on Monday. He wasn't there yet. Joshua Josephs on Tuesday was getting there, but I would not say he had completely turned the page yet. Of course, he's a Georgia native. So this one's been hard. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it should be hard. I think that's what Josh Heupel said after the game on Saturday. I mean, if this doesn't fuel you, if you don't soak this one in and it doesn't bother you for a bit, then we're not sure who we're going to be or who we can be. So I think this team is getting there. But again, I like the fact they're playing Ramon, and I like the fact that they're playing an opponent they're heavily favored over.
When you look at this passing offense, Brandon, just the historically good things that happened in the first quarter last week and what you're trying to build on at this point, all the offseason tweaks, it felt like we were kind of waiting until this game to really learn what a lot of the new stuff was. What impressed you about this offense, about the scheme, and the way that Josh Heupel, with the help of some new faces on that staff, which one of them, an old friend in Jim Chaney, I saw the reports about today or yesterday, of course. What impressed you about what is different, Brent, about this offense?
Well, the fact that they completed 14 straight to start the fourth quarter, which they haven't done against routes versus air in any practice session in the month of August. I mean, it was a show. I think it's the fact that the receivers can play any of the three positions, and they're moving the receivers around the way they want to. And listen, I love Jim Chaney. He's had nothing to do with that. This is the stuff that Joey Halsley, Josh Heupel, and Landry Jones, and Seth Luttrell. This is what these guys have all been working on since January. And we knew the pistol was coming, and so you're like, okay, well, that's great. They've got the pistol in. But what about the passing game? And you kept hearing there were some tweaks and some adjustments to some routes, but the reality is there's been a lot of adjustments to the route tree. There's been a lot of adjustments to what they're doing with receivers. And part of it is they've gotten them closer to the line of scrimmage. They've motioned them some. They've made them more interchangeable than they have been. And they got a quarterback who sees the football field and can get them all the football. So what was I impressed about in the first quarter? Just how multiple they were in what they did in the passing game. How more, I don't want to say advanced, but how much more broad it was of a passing game. It was not the two guys go line up outside the numbers and we've got a slot receiver in the middle of the field and we're going to run switch routes and we're going to run the comebacks and stuff you've seen for 4 years. There was a lot of variations to a lot of stuff in there.
I'm joined by Brent Hubbs of VolQuest on 3. Hubbs, when you look at the characteristics of this Vols team too, is physical. Did you see training camp being that physical for these guys, man, and how they're approaching the games each week that they've played? You can't say they're not backing up the offense with that is soft or that is up in space, man. That's a perception I think needs to go away fast.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't know exactly what they would look like. I mean, they went 2 days on, 1 day off in training camp, and so you kind of wondered. Now, the belief was that this offensive line was going to be better because they were, quite frankly, more talented. I think I talked about it in August. They're bigger, they're longer. I think they're more athletic. But listen, I mean, Wendell Moy is a better player than I thought he was going to be. I didn't scout him at Arizona when he transferred in. I didn't know what all he could do. Lance Hurd's in a contract year, and he's playing like it's contract year for him. nobody's talking about Lance Hurd, which is an absolute win. And then Jesse Perry's the story of the offensive line. We all thought that, when people said, hey, he could win this job, you're like, hey, that's a good story. Well, he's gone beyond winning the job. He's arguably their most consistent guy, or one of the most consistent guys up there. So Sham Umaroff's the biggest surprise of all of them, because you thought David Sanders was going to be there. But listen, this group, this offense has always run the football, but what they're doing at the line of scrimmage and pass protection has been really impressive, because they're not having to help. Think about it. You're sitting here, the running back's got to pick up a blitzer, an extra body. Tight end's got to pick up an extra body. But you're not sitting there going, man, we better get help on the left tackle side. He's having a hard time with that edge rusher. We need a chipper. We need somebody over there that can chip. Or you say, man, we've moved Jesse Perry out to right tackle. Man, he's got to have help over there. Right. They haven't had to do that to this point. Now, maybe there's a pass rusher or two coming down the pike. You have to do some stuff with that. But right now, you bring 5, we got 5, we feel totally comfortable blocking you up. And because of what they've been able to do through 3 games, which is impressive.
I think that is the biggest surprise. If you would have told me against the Syracuse defense, the way I think of Fran Brown and how he played last year, and against Georgia, to not have a contact sack, the one sack that you have on the season is an intentional grounding. Hubs. You would have told me, Ramon, you're fired. You'd have said something to me if I'd have predicted that. But it also, Hubs, too, that's one thing. But you set yourself up for next year, because David Sanders eventually is going to go to the left side. Jesse Perry could stay at right.
Oh, no doubt.
You got to feel good with the questions of 2 coaches, man. Kelsey Pope and also Glenn Ellaby, I guess at this point, they've somewhat helped solidify themselves as legitimate SEC coaches and recruiters. Would you say that's the case for those 2 guys?
Well, I think Glenn Ellaby, as an X's and O's guy, has solidified himself several years ago. The fact that he's playing some guys they recruited, and he's going to play another one in David Sanders, helps. And then I think the biggest win right now is Kelsey Pope, because of the way these receivers are playing in their second year in the system. The development of Mike Matthews, the development of Braylon Staley, obviously the development of Chris Brazzell, which is the most impressive of the 3, considering where he was just kind of mentally at the end of last season. But here's the thing, too. What's different also is the guy throwing the football. And, that helps. We all, if you're an offensive lineman, you all like a quarterback who gets the ball out of his hands and doesn't sit back there and eat the ball. Doesn't pat it, eat it. It's gone or he's gone, one or the other. Look, pass protection's been really good. It's not been perfect, but he's helped make it look perfect. He's gotten himself out of some trouble. Why is suddenly Chris Brazzell catching more balls? Well, how many more balls are catchable to him vertically down the field than what they were last year? So I don't think, while those guys are playing well and they deserve all the credit in the world, it sounds like a coach when you say all 11 guys have to be on the same page or it doesn't work. The reality is that the receiving core doesn't work if the quarterback's not playing well. Pass protection doesn't work as well if the quarterback's not playing well. And the quarterback is playing far superior to what any of us thought he would be playing when he arrived here back in the summer.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest on 3, your guest this morning on Ramon and Will. It is time for our David Sanders Minute, Brent, as we ask the weekly question. I know it's up in the air, but we've got to ask it, as you know. Any update and any optimism that he'll be on the field tomorrow?
I would be surprised if he's on the field tomorrow, because he's just not practiced. I do think there's some progression in the right direction with David Sanders from a recovery standpoint that creates some optimism over the, maybe next week or certainly coming out of that open date. I think there's finally some movement in the right direction. I think he's continuing to be further evaluated and having doctors look at him, specialists look at him, and that, that's just all protocol of what you're doing. Continue to be tested every day, and I think the tests have probably shown some improvement this week. Is it enough for him to play? I would be surprised if that's the case, but I do think there's some maybe light at the end of the tunnel, kind of moving in the right direction, but clearly no timetable has been presented at this point in time. So we'll see. I think for David Sanders to play and be a factor, he's going to have to practice a week of football. It's hard for me to say, hey, man, he gets cleared Friday morning or Saturday morning, dress him and go play him, because through all of this, it's not like he's been practicing every day, and then you get to Friday or Saturday morning and you say, okay, we're not going to clear you to play. He really hasn't practiced since the Wednesday prior to Syracuse, not at full tilt. So, I mean, for a freshman offensive lineman to miss a month of work, I think he's got to have some work under some practice time under his belt, so to speak, before you're ready to just throw him back out there. So I think you could ease him back out there if he doesn't get more practice time before you just say, okay, David Sanders is back. It's a Thursday. He's our starting right tackle on a Saturday. That's a hard ask for a guy who's never played at the college level.
Brent, how much optimism is there that Tennessee gets its 2 defensive linemen back for Mississippi State, David Hobbs and Jackson Moy?
By the way, I can't believe neither one of you crushed me for going over a minute on the David Sanders minute. But
no,
anyway,
it's what I want. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Jackson Moy is. I think Jackson Moy will definitely be back for Mississippi State. I would be really surprised if he's not. And Davin Hobbs is 100% in his mind back from Mississippi State. That's been the date he's had targeted. Now, he's still got to get cleared. He's still got to get going, and turn loose that way. But he is running. He's running in cleats. He's rehabbing. And in his mind, he's playing football in Starkville, Mississippi. Now, that'll be the medical people's decision ultimately at the end. But in his mind, I can tell you he thinks he's playing.
Well, all he got to do is go in there and flip some tables over, and they'll up the point.
David Hobbs, Jesus in this situation.
Hold on a second. That sounds like a personal experience moment for you. Is there something we need to know, Ramon?
No, let's just say I probably went out there a few times I shouldn't have. Okay, Hubs. That's all that is.
I just wanted to imagine the kindness and the big teddy bear of you flipping over some tables for those poor old trainers, man. For Jason McVay and that crew, you're throwing stuff at them in the training room. I just wanted to kind of visualize that this morning. Right?
That wasn't my thing. I was a rule follower, man. Us 3 stars, we don't get those type of perks. I'm not lying, Hubs.
Well, I understand you think you're a 5-star now because you think you get all the perks.
Listen, I'm asking for them now, Hubs. I might pass some of my perks to you, okay?
Hey, I'm all in then. 5-star plus. I'll be your agent. I'm good. Let's go. What do we want today?
Well, first up, getting some NIL with Petro, okay? All right. Where's Jamon McCoy, man? And we just need to just stop asking about Ricky Gibson too. Both of those on my mind too, Hubs. How we feel about those two?
I don't think you need to ask about Ricky Gibson anytime soon.
Okay, I'll take that.
At this point, okay. Jamon McCoy, he has not done team stuff on the practice field. At some point, he's going to have to take a little contact, I think, before you let him go back out there. Not going to play this week. It's hard to imagine him bouncing back next Monday and suddenly being ready for Starkville, Mississippi. So I'm kind of looking more towards maybe Arkansas coming out of the open date as kind of the best case scenario for him. I think that the narrative that he doesn't want to play or that he's setting out is an unfair narrative. This guy's engaged with his team. He's helping the young guys. He's rehabbing and trying to get there every day. He wants to play football. I think he understands he needs to play football and show that he's back. So he's trying to get there, but there's still another hurdle or two for him to clear. And the next hurdle in my mind is he's got to get into team periods and practice and go through some team stuff, which he's not done to this point.
Man, I saw in the war room, man, the leadership this week. You mentioned Josh Joseph and Miles Kitzman. Do they have the proper leadership to attack UAB this upcoming week? I mean, they got a quarterback that's slinging the ball around. He's over 70% completion. They're going to have to smother UAB. Trent Differs live here in this city, man. He's a competitor. This team's going to be physical. What has the leadership been like for this group, man, going into this week up to now?
Well, I think they've said all the right things. I mean, I think they've done what they need to do, but you still got to go play. And you've been in these situations where, everybody can say all the right things, but do you have the juice that you need to have on a Saturday morning at a 12:45 start time when, listen, the crowd will be there. It'll be a packed Neyland Stadium, but it's not going to have the intensity that it had last week. We all know that. I mean, so you got to make your own juice a little bit. And I think defensively, they're going to have to play in space. They're going to have to play better in space, Ramon, than they've played to this point. You go back and look, what did Syracuse do? They threw it sideways a good bit of the time and kind of got, got angles and edges and alleys and leverage and all those types of things on you. We certainly know Georgia did this, and I think I'm going to steal a stat from our friend in Nashville, Doug Matthews. I think Doug's the first one who noted this. Georgia, 70% of their offensive snaps or around there basically were run plays or they were throws at the line of scrimmage, down the line of scrimmage. So, and they still put up, 400, nearly 500 yards of offense or 500 yards. I mean, Tennessee's got to play in space better defensively. I think obviously you want to get after the quarterback, and certainly you got to play better on the corners, on the deep stuff than what happened in those two plays on Saturday. But you look, a lot of missed tackles in the open field at the line of scrimmage, whether it was a nickel, whether it was a corner, whether it was a safety, whether it was a linebacker. If I'm Trent Dilfer, I'm throwing it sideways right, sideways left until you show me that you can tackle me. And I think that's the test for Tennessee's defense when you look at them over the first 3 weeks. What stands out? You got to get off the field better on third down. Part of that, you got to play stuff. You got to play better sideways, laterally, than just the vertical stuff as well. So we'll find out, Ramon. I think this is a test. I think all the right words have been said, but you got to go out and execute and play.
He is Brent Hubbs of VolQuest and On 3, Vol Network coverage, Tennessee and UAB. Ramon obviously on the call. Brent will be there as well on the sidelines tomorrow here on the Zone. Another weekend of Tennessee football. We are blessed, even if it is a game where Tennessee's favored by about 40. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate you as always.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest with us, brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life. Got a couple more minutes to catch up on your Titans calls if you got them. A couple of you were hanging on before Brent joined us. 615-737-1045. Stephen Godfrey will continue the conversation at 8 o'clock, coming up in studio in 20 minutes. But when we come back, Thursday Night Football last night was almost a shocker, and one play changed it. What the Titans can learn from a close upset bid, but not enough upset bid last night in Buffalo, coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster here. I'm here to tell you guys about my friends at Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. A trusted, family-owned Middle Tennessee company that's been serving from Clarksville all the way down to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. They stand out by building relationships and earning trust through referrals, never through high-pressure tactics or door knocking or storm chasing. You guys have seen them. They put signs in your neighborhood. They come knock on your door to try to get up on your roof, and probably not being all the way truthful with you, just to be all the way honest with you, man. But here's the thing about it. Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, they're local, they're licensed here in Nashville, man. And they provide clear estimates with no surprise fees, and they offer flexible financing options too. So you can get the roof work you need without any of the delays. This is the company that you can trust, because here's what they believe. You either need them now or you need them later. If you don't need them now, you can call later. And you can also call this number, 615-868-9999, or visit jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
Ramona Willow 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Stephen Godfrey going to join us talking some college football in 15 minutes. Last night, a good Thursday night football game, Ramon, on a game that we did not expect to be good. Bills 31, Dolphins 21. Zach Sealer on the hot seat this morning. Roughing the punter in a 21-21 game with 10 minutes to go, and Miami was about to get the football back. This league is built to have close games still be played between good and bad teams.
I agree.
And Miami proved that again last night, that, again, if you're looking for a silver lining of the Titans going into a big divisional game, the gap between good and bad really shouldn't be that big. But key mistakes like that and 15-yard penalties when you are up against it and behind the 8 ball, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Especially on the road. Buffalo has now scored 30-plus points in each of their first 3 games for the second straight season, Ramon. The only other team to do that in back-to-back seasons, the 1948 and 49 49ers, who clearly knew that they had the year advantage back then. That's unfair. Of course the 49ers were good in 49.
Absolutely they were. But this is also what happens when bad teams or bad coach teams, man, get into these type of situations right here. And again, when you're bad and you're trying to get that dub, or you're trying to show that, hey, look, I'm giving my all, you do too much. And I'm looking at this kick right now, like that was a situation of doing too much, of running into the punter the way he did. Like totally unnecessary. And as a big D lineman, like more than anything, you're not going to get there more than anybody else. Like slow down. Why are you in those situations? This is the same type of stuff that the Titans had going on last year. The continuation of drives for teams that didn't deserve it. And at that point, the Bills did not deserve it. They were punting the football in those moments, man. Bad teams do bad stuff. You got to get out of that fluff, man, at some point in time.
If you missed the conversation earlier this morning, Titans and Colts for this Sunday injury report still includes a limited T'Vondre Sweat, a non-participating L'Jarius Sneed, and J.C. Latham. I'd be shocked if Latham played Sunday. Sneed, I still think is going to be fine, but we'll see what he does today. And T'Vondre's availability, Ramon, is critical.
It's very.
To stopping the number 1 running offense in the NFL.
It's that, too. And, again, you got to establish yourself as a game wrecker against your doggone division opponents. Like, that plays a bigger part into it more than anything. And when I played, like, it was the games against Cincinnati, Baltimore, Cleveland that meant a whole lot to you, too. Because those are the teams you're going to see more often. Like, this is a team that T'Vondre wants to have scared of him the next time they play the Colts in Indianapolis.
Send a message, right?
It's that part of it, too. That's why I feel like the understanding of rivalries, the culture that you set against these guys. Jeff Simmons understands it. He fully gets what these games mean right here. And if T'Vondre's hurt, he's hurt. But in these type of matchups, man, you'd rather have some of him than none of him. And there's a lot of things that go into your mind when you have a guy like him that's out too.
Are you starting to worry about T'Vondre Sweat a little bit if he misses another game Sunday?
That's what I mean. You start to worry, like, either what happened in the offseason.
Missed all of camp.
And 30 snaps, I think, in the Broncos
29
game.
snaps in Denver.
And that's where you somewhat say to yourself, all right, I'm starting to look over you now. I'm wondering what is the mindset, again, with the new GM.
Yeah.
With a guy that's had his issues, I guess, as far as being available to this team this year and in training camp. Your second-year jump is supposed to be the one that solidifies you as a pro. Those are the things he had to do going into this matchup. And a very physical team, I won't call them very physical, but a very efficient team in what the Colts are coming into your house with the opportunity to go 1-2. 0-3 sounds bad, man. It's not a good place. Against, again, that part too. This is a good offensive line. You want to have good games against those types of dudes. And that's why I feel like it's lacking on the understanding.
Right.
It's the difference between being injured and being hurt. That, to me, is why I want to see a guy like him show up off the injury report today.
It's concerning. It's concerning for Sunday. I think it's concerning long-term how much time T'Vondre Sweat has missed. Again, I don't think that T'Vondre is as much of a fit for the new Titans identity in terms of the kinds of players that they are looking for in just size and ability. And some players are worth breaking the mold. And some players you feel like are good enough and rare enough skill-wise to give some exceptions to rules, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a red flag for me if he is out again for an extended period of time after having a tonsillectomy and being out for really all of camp. The timing was not ideal on that.
This is where you say for a guy like Big Jeff that's begging for help. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, the defense is built for those two to be what you do best.
Yeah.
Those two getting the interior pressure to force a quarterback off the pocket to where sticky man coverage on the outside can hold receivers up and force mistakes.
And you don't have edge rushers that are burners right now. Those two dudes, to your point, got to eat up the middle to kind of flush them out. Daniel Jones is yours for the taking if you can get pressure on him right now. Again, they won against a really good defensive team last week in the Denver Broncos.
And their offensive line has come together more quickly than I expected them to.
Way faster.
With some new faces in there. Another divisional game of the AFC South this weekend, Texans at Jags, is fascinating. Jags are favored in this game.
I can see that.
I mean, Ramon, I feel vindicated that we were more down on Houston than a lot of other people were. I wasn't this far down, though.
Listen, I wasn't this far down.
They're staring down 0-3, too.
They are. Again, sometimes these changes, man, don't work in your favor. They got a monstrous defense right now.
They do.
And the offense
doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
I know.
At all. Well, yes, I see them being the favorite in this one, the Jags.
Houston has won 10 of its last 11 in Jacksonville, including each of the last 7. Which is pretty incredible to me because there have been some bad Houston teams in that span as well in terms of going down to Duval. But Brian Thomas Jr. needing a bounce-back performance. That's the storyline for me in this one. Brian Thomas Jr. is afraid of contact over the middle. And him against Cincinnati last week, Ramon, he was making some business decisions. That guy played in the SEC.
I'm blaming Trevor.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I blame Trevor. Yes. Did he fold up? Yes. Did he hear the footsteps of the safety? Heck,
he had
yes,
Liam Cohen over there pounding his chest saying, hit him here.
Yeah.
Throw accurate passes, and Trevor waved him off.
Yes. No, I think he was setting Brian Thomas Jr. up for a stretcher. I'm sorry, but I'm with you. Like, man, your job is to go up and get it. My job is to also know that the safety's breathing down on me. Like, he know what the defensive coverages are in those moments. Trevor Lawrence is floating that football in harm's way is what he's doing. I'm blaming the quarter. And, you know, I've been a Trevor Lawrence fan. Like, I like him as a quarterback.
Right.
I know a lot of Titans fans don't want to hear it, but I like him as a quarterback and what I think he can do. He's setting Brian Thomas Jr. up. The one time I think in the end zone and the one time in the field across the middle, he was going to get cleared. I'm talking about cleared like, bro, that was bad.
Coming up, college football week 4, Tennessee's stock out of a loss to Georgia. Alabama and Georgia both off, gearing up to play next week. A big showdown in the Big Ten. 2 big showdowns in the Big Ten to talk about. Auburn, Oklahoma is interesting. You got the Battle of Arkansas between Memphis and Arkansas. Stephen Godfrey breaks it all down with us in studio for the whole 8 a.m. hour coming up next.
8:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Happy Friday, I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 3 of the NFL kicked off last night with Thursday night football in Buffalo as the Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 31-21 in an AFC East matchup. Bills quarterback Josh Allen threw for 213 yards and 3 touchdowns, and running back James Cook rushed for 108 yards and a touchdown, which is his second straight 100-yard rushing game this season. In Titans news, Thursday's injury report. J.C. Latham, Bryce Oliver, and L'Jarius Sneed did not practice yesterday. Khalil Mullings, Tavondre Sweat, Kevin Winston Jr. and Jarvis Browning Jr. were all limited, and Kevin Zeitler upgraded from not practicing on Wednesday to a limited participant yesterday. Titans play this Sunday at Nissan Stadium as they host AFC South Division rival Indianapolis Colts with kickoff at 12 p.m. Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 a.m., and Titans Radio takes over at 11. You can hear the coverage right here on The Zone. Tennessee Vols host UAB tomorrow with an 11:45 a.m. Central kickoff at Neyland Stadium. Mike Keith, Ramon Foster have the call. Coverage begins right here on The Zone at 9:15 a.m. The Vanderbilt Commodores, they're looking to start the season 4-0 for the first time since all the way back in 2008 as they host Georgia State tomorrow with a 6:30 p.m. Central kickoff on ESPNU. And Nashville SC, they play at Orlando City SC tomorrow night with a 6:30 p.m. first kick. Nashville can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a New York Red Bulls loss or draw. Will Bowling, Eddie Carvacho on the call starting at 6 p.m. right here on The Zone. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, hour number 3 of Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Alongside Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, our producer, I'm Will Bowling, joined in studio by the man who is talking at a microphone seemingly every hour of every day about college football. Stephen Godfrey is here. You look just exhausted as I say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. We're
What's
in
going
season.
on?
We're in
Welcome.
season. Every day I talk into a microphone. It's good.
College Football Inquirer, Phantom Island, I mean all of it. You're everywhere right now.
Yes, we are. We do 3 college football inquirers a week.
Love it.
All right. I'm doing 2 Phantom Islands a week.
Yep.
I'm working on 2 big projects I can't talk about yet.
Oh.
And as soon as someone significant gets fired, the Washington Post is going to say, "Hey, can you write a column?" So, which might be this weekend.
Really? So what I'm hearing is that Deshaun Foster and Brent Pry were not significant enough.
No, not at all.
That's what I was wondering. Like, we got 2 already.
Nah.
I mean, 2 that
I do want to get into that. I do want to get into that while we have you in here because I
spent all week doing that. So yeah, I'm up to date if you want to talk about that.
Love it. Perfect. We've got a lot to get into. Again, one of these weekends where it feels like the calm before the storm that is going to be week 5. But anyone who knows college football knows these are the weekends that end up being the craziest for something like, I don't know, Florida State beats Alabama. So starting in the SEC, this feels like a game, like a very consequential game between Oklahoma and Auburn this weekend, where Oklahoma can put itself in the Georgia, LSU, A&M, Tennessee tier of the SEC.
Yes. Let's get it out of the way.
Perfect.
All right. I haven't talked to y'all.
Let's start with Tennessee. Then.
How are you feeling?
Better about Tennessee than I expected to on September the 19th. That's for sure.
I felt
out of that
full.
game on Saturday.
I felt full. It was a disappointing game, but like I left out of that to go toe to toe with Georgia. And my description, I left full, knowing that if with a May quarterback, with an offensive line not supposed to be in place against Georgia and Kirby, a field goal, I left full.
Okay. I wasn't worried about you, to be clear.
My bad. Let me back up.
I was worried about that one. I was worried about that
because here's the
when
thing.
I was doing the speech, you and I were just like, like we were building to something. Whereas the non-believer over here, I was trying to tell him.
So where I'm at is I refuse to change the entire conversation and discourse about a football game because a guy couldn't make a kick.
Yes.
So all of the things that were true in that game, if Max Gilbert makes a 43-yard field goal, are still true, even though he missed the 43-yard field goal. Now, false start had something to do with that. That's part of being a championship type of program to where Georgia doesn't make mistakes like that, and you did in a pivotal moment that may have thrown you off rhythm and may have cost you the game ultimately. But there was a level of physicality that Tennessee showed against a Georgia defense that Ramon might have been playing in the game. I'm not trying to call you old. The last time that was the case against the Georgia Bulldogs.
No, absolutely.
Because you didn't lose to Georgia.
That's real. Yeah.
If you could pull the logos off the helmets and just look at the game objectively, that was possible for us. You would not have thought there is a superior team on this field.
Agreed.
Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it. So if there was not a superior team on the field, and then we do the reveal, it's like when you do the blind thing for the RPI in basketball, the blind resume, and then I say, well, this was Tennessee and Georgia. Then that, as a Vols fan, should put to bed all the stuff I was hollering about last week.
Yep,
you are, because you lost the game, you are the lower end of tier 1. Okay, that's it. That's all. Like until now, you have lost the game.
Yeah.
All right, and you are afforded 2 or 3. We think, right, in terms of playoff consideration?
I would say so. I mean, probably not a home loss. I don't know, though. If Oklahoma's a top 5 team coming to Neyland, like...
It's a missed field goal home loss, and we have so much more road to travel. Because, like, you set us up to talk about Oklahoma and Auburn.
Sure. Yeah.
Those are supposed to be hot seat teams.
Right.
And the math tells us that one of them is still probably going to be a hot seat team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like Auburn and LSU used to always do this in September, where Auburn would play LSU and the losing coach was on the hot seat.
Absolutely.
And now it's just Oklahoma.
So this is a problem of, I like to use the word data points a lot, because we have all the anticipation for the season. We talk ourselves crazy. I was in here talking about Clemson in the Final Four like a month ago.
And you and me both.
Whoops. Now we only have a couple data points. And so we have to be a little bit more patient and prognosticate. The payoff on the prognostication, understanding what we have, is like polls are very subjective and stupid. And even the advanced analytics don't have, like, all those advanced analysis, like Bill Connolly and all those guys that I work with, they'll tell you need more than 3 or 4 data points. So it's really hard to talk about Oklahoma and Auburn right now, because it's like you start looking at their game comp, like who they've played and the way we schedule FCS and sub G5 and all that. It's really hard to understand right now. But Tennessee, you know what Georgia is.
Yep.
Okay? They're not what they were in the national, even the TCU national title. But you know enough from the way you played and what you did to say, all right, that's a tier 1 team, missed a field goal, whatever, we move on. We've got a pretty good idea. And then the Nico thing feels like that's 5 years ago. Doesn't it feel?
It does.
Yeah.
Now. It does.
Okay. You want to talk about UCLA? You want to take a victory lap?
I would love to talk about UCLA.
Okay.
Is it him, the institution, the coaches, or what is it?
Yes.
He is not worth the value that was set financially on him. Okay.
By us.
Yeah.
By the market, too, because Darian Mensah's getting $4 million to play for.
Darian Mensah hasn't made, well, that's a whole other thing. As someone who sits through a lot of college football, like, you know, when they played Illinois and committed all those turnovers, a lot of that was there were some serious drop pass problems.
Right.
So when you're Duke and you want to make a splash, you also got to make a splash and get some wide receivers. Because what Darian Mensah looks like right now at Duke is kind of similar to Nico in that, like, all right, you got a whatever $1 million quarterback and you got a couple 75-cent skill position players around him. That's going to be a problem. For sure.
Because on paper, you got to elevate those guys to look like $1 million receivers.
Sure. Or you got to have pass pro that's good enough to get them in some easy situations. And I didn't see that with Duke either. Now, they could get better down the stretch.
Right.
I still like them relative to the ACC.
Right.
UCLA, coaches, yes, huge problem. Institution's the biggest problem.
Huge.
Is the biggest problem. Of the 4 schools that went east in the Big Ten realignment, they are the least serious about football and the most naive.
Oh, my God.
So I've had conversations all week about this, and there are similarities between Virginia Tech and UCLA. And then at some points in this conversation, they have nothing in common. But the one thing I want to kind of put to bed is this idea of like, well, it's great. We're first to market. I'm going to tell you right now, the way the early conversations have gone in Westwood out in L.A., nobody cares that you're first to market. Because if Florida pops this weekend or a month from now, that's going to reset the market, okay? If Auburn and or Oklahoma pops in December, guess what, UCLA, back of the line.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But what's scarier about that is the early word out of UCLA is the naivete of that they are just like, how serious are you going to be about this? How serious are you going to be? Foster was not ready. Okay, he needed an FCS job, and then he needed a G5 job. Look at our buddy at Bowling Green right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eddie George.
Yeah.
Titans legend.
Has nothing to do with being an ex-player or anything like that, right?
It's the process. FCS, G5.
Yeah. I feel tremendously for Foster, and I know it was like a radio show, internet meme bit when he went blank.
Yeah.
So we're all in broadcast, right? I had those moments when I was young where you the light comes on. Mm-hmm. There's a TV clip of me from probably 15 years ago where I'm just like, is he having a low key seizure right now? But when I saw that, it was on Al Jazeera.
Oh,
America. They used to have a cable network on America.
Yeah.
And I got
talking
thrown
football.
Bagman, yeah.
Wow.
In studio in New York when I was working up there, and didn't know. I don't know if you guys ever had that in your career where you're like, hey, they just called. Can you go do a hit in studio in 35 minutes?
That one yet.
Someone borrowed a sport coat, get on the just froze. But back to,
I have bad dreams about that all the time.
I bet, dude, in your line of work,
I'll have a dream that I'm at a broadcast and I've done none of the prep and know none of the players.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you're on in 30 seconds. The common nightmare. Anyway,
the only years I wasn't in the media, I worked in pro wrestling. I wasn't a wrestler, obviously. I was here in Nashville. But I did have dreams where I had to get in the ring because the guy didn't show up. So that's a manifestation of anxiety. So when I saw that with Foster 2 years ago at Big Ten Media Day, I thought
This ain't it.
the support structure is not around because good organizations don't put their people in positions to look that way. Mm-hmm. Period.
Right.
You see it in the NFL a lot too. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good organizations don't set their public figures up for that kind of problem, that kind of moment.
Right.
I gotta feel like
That was one tiny example.
That felt local.
Which
I would never.
which Oregon coordinator is the better fit for that job? Is it Will Stein or Tosh LaPointe?
So I'm gonna be really honest here for a second.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to throw shade on any colleagues.
Sure.
Throw them lists out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it really
For
slowly.
Virginia Tech too?
No, for everybody right now.
Perfect.
Throw the list out. My colleagues and the people I work with and the way the media is structured right now, you have editors, producers, whatever it is, say, we need a list of names right now.
Hot board.
That's traffic.
Yep, it is.
Hot board season.
I am someone, I'm lucky because I carved out a career where no one's telling me, give me 5 names, and I don't have to be the first one to break the news. So the individuals who make the news will talk to me in a way that they won't talk to them because I'm not going to call them up and be like, I'm trying to confirm this source right now.
Right,
I'm just saying, hey, what's going on? How are you feeling? And we have conversations, and I hold information until after the fact. And then my job, and the way at Phantom Island, my subscribers, I'm big on, all right, let Pete Thamel break it. Let McMurphy, my boy McMurphy, break it, whatever. I want to come in a couple days and explain to you, here's how they made the meal, right? Or here's how this fell apart. Okay, so that's what I've been doing this week.
Okay.
These schools are not ready to talk to anybody. What has gone on this week, if you are listening to this and you happen to be a UCLA or a Virginia Tech fan, or maybe you're somehow a fan
someone out there.
Well, you're a fan of, I see some tech stuff around town.
For sure.
Well, when you live in a Nashville neighborhood and you start seeing Pac-12 stuff, on the cars and houses, you're like, oh, our home value's going up because these LA people are coming in and buying these houses. Dude, fact.
So the nation.
So where I live, without doxing myself, my wife and I were walking the dog 5 years ago, and I saw one of them house-divided Arizona, Stanford, and I was like, yeah,
all righty.
We're taking the million mark.
You pay straight cash. Let's go. You still profit.
Nice to meet you.
The In-N-Out Burger is going to come over here.
You don't say. Let's go, Nashville. Real estate. I love it. I just got more equity.
Makes
You want to talk about Olympic sports? Anyway, I don't know what we were talking about.
I don't know. Let's get a break and keep it going. We'll come back.
We're talking about home value.
Yes. Yeah, that's the value of the 615 going up.
UCLA. We're talking about UCLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They're idiots.
Perfect. Great way to put it. When we come back, I want to talk Oklahoma Auburn. I want to talk Vandy ceiling. What is best case scenario for Vanderbilt football this year?
Limitless.
In a year where no one knows anything in the SEC, and Arch Manning forgot how to play football, and Joey Aguilar is a top 3 quarterback. Where does Vandy fit in all this? We'll talk about that with Stephen Godfrey in studio next.
Two Rivers Forward is asking for your help collecting non-perishable food items to benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center as they help to feed those who need it the most in our community. Here's how easy it is. Next time you're at the grocery store, pick up a couple extra cans of food, things like canned tuna, chicken, or salmon, protein bars, low-sodium soups or chili, dried beans or rice, boxes of cereal, that type of stuff, all right? Anything that can be stored and served over the next few months. And then drop it by the dealership and the F-150 is displayed right up front. You can't miss it. And you have until the end of this month, so anytime between now and September 30th. It's all part of Ford Motor Company's Global Caring Month and the world's largest dealership food drive. Two Rivers Ford and the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Stephen Godfrey in studio, College Football Inquirer, wherever you download podcasts. Good friend Andy Staples on there as well, Ross Dellinger. Hoping to get Andy on next week.
So he's picked against the Vols twice.
He has.
The producer said you guys have to make a pick every week, and we didn't want to do it.
Okay.
I don't know. I hate picking games. That's not my job. I was never a football player or coach, so like my expertise is different. But they're like, just do it so you can talk about it. So every week I do a thing where I call it like the Coffee House hipster pitchfork nerd pick. So I'm like this week I picked Texas San Antonio at UTSA at Colorado State.
Love that.
But like Andy and Ross Dellinger, they'll pick like, the main game.
Right. Yeah.
But Andy has picked against Tennessee twice and lost twice. And so I was like, if you do it again, you have to come on the show.
Love it.
There it is.
So
hey, force him. There you go.
We were talking with him this week. He was the one segment he could do this week. We already had booked, so we're working on it. But
Andy got bumped.
Stop.
So Vanderbilt has an offensive line that doesn't look like a Vanderbilt offensive line, and
a D line.
We now have talk about data points.
Yeah,
the data points to prove that a Vandy team that looked different, just literally getting off the bus, also looks different on the football field when it matters. What did you take away from that South Carolina game? Because South Carolina is broken, especially without Lenore Sellers. But also, we know as well as anybody, as Tennessee people, like weird things happen in Columbia at night, and it didn't to Vandy. And that has to mean something regardless of who's at quarterback.
First off, shout out to Will Muschamp. Y'all are aware of the storyline there, right?
What's the Will Muschamp storyline?
Paid about under 12 after they tamped it down to in his buyout.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
His son plays for Vanderbilt now.
With Muschamp.
They took a picture together on the field after the Vandy win last week. That has got to be a just meta level of satisfaction.
Did he tweeted like he tweeted something, and he also shouted out Georgia in the process as well.
Good for him.
Yeah, Whit Muschamp and Wyndham McCauley.
Yeah. Here's my data point on Vanderbilt. So I'll have the 4-game quad box going, and then I'm keying on something primary.
Yep.
Every time I checked on like the last 2 quarters of that Virginia Tech game, you saw Kyron Drones running for his life, or you saw 2.5, 4.5, 6.5 yards, 2.5, 4.5, 6. The line play at Vanderbilt. Yeah. And I remember thinking in that game, because this was when we were starting to get calls like, oh, Tech's going to make a move. And I remember thinking, it's so crazy. Like Virginia Tech's played for a national title in the modern era.
Absolutely.
And then we're talking about Vanderbilt, right? And in those 2 programs, I'm like, that's a roster that went out and built in portal with NIL on their lines.
Yep.
And that's one who can't.
Because they lost everyone. Virginia Tech, what was it, like 7 starters like transferred into the portal?
Yeah.
Out of the program last year?
You're non-competitive.
Right.
It's similar in a way to UCLA. Obviously, they did pay for Nico, but they're not managing their money well. Vanderbilt is real. Now, I think you asked to tee up this segment, like what the ceiling is.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. Still really hard to tell.
That's kind of where I'm at.
And as fragile as as South Carolina is in the Sellers situation, so too would they be with Pavia getting hurt.
Right.
The problem is Pavia is like, you have a buddy who drives like a Ford Ranger for 25 years, and you're like, man, that truck can't die.
Doggone Ford Ranger.
You know what I'm talking about? Or one of them old Nissan pickups where you're like, does that have 375,000 miles on it? That's the dude he's tough.
He's Ford Ranger.
I hope I didn't just curse him. He's Ford Ranger too. He's stout. He's not the biggest dude. Yeah.
Revenge game against Georgia State this weekend too.
Legitimate,
literally a revenge game.
It's funny you mentioned that, because that's where I still have apprehension, because that was a year ago, and I watched that. I watched the defensive miscues,
really
bus coverage. Yeah. It really happened in front of 15 people in the old Brave Stadium. I mean, like, that's where you're hesitant to really, really certify. But the more they keep building wins. They keep looking good in conference play. They played an SEC team that a lot of people picked as the playoff dark horse this year and won on the road. Mm-hmm. So I am no longer saying, oh, they're going to be good for Vanderbilt. So top out at 8, 9?
I think it's about right. I mean, if
it'll make that Tennessee game way more
interesting. Does Arch Manning still throwing like Uncle Rico by the time he plays Vandy? What's the deal there? Like, I know they have been adamant he's healthy.
Yeah.
If he is.
He's healthy, I think.
I heard Andy Staples was actually he was on Pardon My Take this week, and I heard his comparison of like it's kind of like the golfer who wins a lot of September tournaments and then comes back for the first PGA Tour event in like March the next year, and his swing is just totally off. Like he's hooking it in the trees. Like you can't. You're topping it into the woods.
Yeah.
Like it's like what. With all the expectation, like here's my thing on this. I was way too high on Arch Manning coming into the season, but even the people that doubted him couldn't have seen this coming.
Correct, and that's why I think we need to back up and stop trying to like qualify what's going on. Look, I'm the G5 guy. UTEP should not be doing that to you. No. I was watching the first 2 quarters of that, and it was like he's hearing footsteps, or there's we're talking about bad play structure where things aren't developing on time, or there's miscues with primary targets. And I think the answer is like yes. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. Phil Steele, which I kind of keep on my desk for reference, I pulled it up the other day when we were on Yahoo, and his like Heisman top 5, it was, I can't remember the order, Arch, Klubnik, Aller,
Nuss,
and one other quarterback.
Lagway?
Yes, thank you. Now, right now, and I had my notes in front of me when I was doing this on the Yahoo show, would you not Aguilar?
Yeah.
Luke Altmaier at Illinois.
Mateer?
He's
probably right? Vegas-wise, he's the front runner.
You get that other tier, not Mateer, the other tier of quarterbacks, like the mid-tier that everyone was like, oh, he's a journeyman, he's serviceable, whatever. Look around right now.
Yeah.
Marcel Reed at Texas A&M.
Devin Dampier at Utah.
Yes.
Dude, that
Haynes King.
Haynes.
Diego Pavia. Like it's.
I'm not kidding. Haynes King is the one that should be on the top of the list.
I agree.
I love him.
I agree.
Yeah, because they taught a rhinoceros how to play quarterback. Amazing.
Yeah, he is.
But he's mean Tebow.
Yeah, he is.
He's skipping Wednesday Bible study, Tebow. All right? So
we're not going to say what he's doing.
No. He's busy. He just got things to do. All right?
Of course.
He's got busy. All right? Things happen after 9. This is a phenomenon to me right now because I also dipped in on Villanova, Penn State. Not great, guys.
No, it's not. You got people over there asking, did we keep the wrong quarterback? Which is a wild.
Again. They've done this. I don't want to bring up the ghost of Levis, but this was a question they asked at Penn State a couple years ago, too.
Mm-hmm.
Kodalecki's legit. Like, he's bona fide. So let's put our thinking hats on here.
Yep.
What is the constant at Penn State?
Former head coach of Vanderbilt.
What's going on at Penn State?
I can't remember. Benjamin was a Franklin. That's
former 104.5 The Zone frequent caller. I bet
That's
you.
right.
I'd bet you, and he would admit this if I texted him.
Yeah.
He's got the number to the station in his phone right now.
100%. You know what I've heard about him, though. This is hearsay, allegedly. It's just guys I've been around that's played for him.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really love him as a coach at times.
Well, look at the
players.
tree. Look at the tree. So when I hear that about on the player side, it's very hard to confirm because college conditions players to never talk to us, even off the record.
Right.
But when you look at a coaching tree, how many of those guys are coming back? Bob Stoops was a menace to deal with in the media. Mm-hmm. He was mean. But his assistants loved him.
Really?
Loved him. Dabo Swinney, acquired taste. His assistants love him. Talked Matt Luke out of retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So I find it interesting. Am I writing an epitaph for what are they, like number 2? They're on a bye this week.
Yeah, top 3.
They have played a couple of high school teams and
so Penn State real fast. Nevada, Florida International, Nova. So they've allowed 17 points this year against that grueling schedule.
And that's the thing too that was so interesting. Like one of the stories of the season was you have 2 head coaches who have been stubborn and have in the last 5 years become can't win the big one coaches in Dabo Swinney and James Franklin, who on paper have rosters who should be national title favorites.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. Dabo Swinney has 2 titles.
I know.
They made Alabama cry on national television one year in a championship game. So I don't buy that comp.
Made me cry.
I don't like Dabo.
And he gave a 13-minute answer at a press conference this week. That was crazy.
I loved him this week.
So let's talk about this real fast.
Yep.
That was not for the media. That was not, so.
The question he was asked was, what is one play you want back from the Georgia Tech game?
Yeah.
And then he gave a 13-minute diatribe about the state of his program.
So that is very clearly, for people to understand, that's not for you, the fan, us, the media. That was a galvanizing effort to get the roster and the assistant coaches and everyone else in the building. We talk about the building to go us versus them for the rest of the way.
That's true. I can see that.
Yeah. And also, by the way, Clemson has a really clean path to the playoff right now.
They do.
That loss to LSU doesn't hurt you if you win the league.
Yeah.
And it is the now I will say this is a much better ACC than it was when Clemson snuck in last year. Legit.
Definitely.
Florida State has decided to play football this year. Mm-hmm. They've opted in. Georgia Tech, legit. We're all in love with them right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So that upper middle class is a little bit deeper. Miami has not made a mind-blowing coaching mistake yet that has cost them a game.
Yet.
Give Mario a little credit. A little. So we have legit, SMU probably not as good as last year. Yeah. I kind of want to reserve judgment until TCU this weekend.
Yep.
So the idea of Clemson sort of doing the Trojan horse kind of thing that they did last year, it would be a lot harder, but it is still possible.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Auburn. We mentioned.
Yeah.
We haven't.
We keep teasing it.
We haven't actually
There's
done
some angry Auburn fan right now in his car.
No, they commented on our YouTube chat, F and Beg Chat Open, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch.
Auburn fan did?
Yeah, I think so. Or just a fan of the game that said, I can't believe the only takeaway is both coaches are on the hot seat.
I said they started the season on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Don't blame me because your fan base is crazy.
And that could apply to either fan base.
So you have an Auburn fan right now mad at me for mentioning coaches on a hot seat. Well, don't start the entire buyout revolution.
I thought Harsin was
Call
fine.
the good folks at Yellowwood and tell them to relax.
It's not my fault you're a tax-exempt mega church. Like, doing all this. Oh, man, there's so many words I can't use on the radio. I'm an Auburn fan accusing me of being hyperbolic. Y'all stay sane for 5 years in a row. That's like yelling at your uncle, like, be sober for 30 days before you come in and tell me what I'm mischaracterizing about you.
We need to give you the monitors we have in front of us that have our
That's
YouTube
probably
chat
not good.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, there are fines associated.
So
Oh, my gosh.
both teams have been very reliant on the quarterback run game to this point.
Okay.
And one of them has wanted to, the other one has out of necessity because its $1 million receivers don't have a quarterback that can throw them the ball over the middle of the field in Jackson Arnold.
Which was their choice.
Weirdly enough, even though they still also have Ashton Daniels, who's just sitting there for some reason. How does this go well for Auburn? Like, this just feels like a Brent Venables defense that can take away what you do well, which for Auburn is quarterback run, short, intermediate passes, outside the numbers, get the ball out in space to Fields, Singleton, and Coleman.
It feels like early on Oklahoma is defining complementary football because we in the media put all the emphasis on, they're going to borrow the Wazoo thing. They're going to bring Mateer in. They're going to bring the coordinator in. We're going to be better on offense. Okay, so statistically they are, to date, better on offense. I also think that Venables is getting to do Venables things now on defense that were not available from a personnel standpoint the previous seasons. And that's where it's not one or the other, it's yes and.
Yeah.
This is okay. Like, you see the system working.
Right.
All right. So it's not just Mateer. It's also that I think they are more talented on defense than we've seen under Venables, probably since he became the head coach there.
Sure.
And then we got a lot of time. This is where I get real hesitant about saying something declarative because, like,
that's why they play the games.
3 games, and we're talking about, like, I don't even know what Michigan is. Like, I got to get back to you on Michigan, like, because I kind of like Nebraska this weekend. So it's like when you get into comparative analysis, it's sort of like a fool's errand. But I feel comfortable enough now saying Oklahoma has brought the overall level up, whereas Auburn looked really good against Baylor. Baylor's defense has not looked good at all to date, and that's with Aranda coming back as the play caller, and he's one of, bar none, consensus smartest minds in defense.
Wow.
Okay. So I'll give Auburn some flowers there. I know they beat up on USA and like a MAC team, maybe?
Yeah, it was...
Auburn is...
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So
it is
all effort.
You have some familiarity with Jackson Arnold if you are OU.
A
little bit. Okay.
Ball State was the
Baylor,
team.
Ball State, South Alabama.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
And then we're talking about Illinois State and a road game against Temple, and then beating
so funny.
beating Michigan by 11, which looks like a quality indicator. I think. I still think Nebraska might finally have a moment this weekend.
I think so too. I think
Picked against them.
that crowd is going to be nuts.
They have lacked for media cliche alert, signature win. But they really have. I rattled off at some point this week on one of the 95 things I do, all of the wins he's had. And I like Rule. I like him as a solution for Nebraska.
Yeah.
But they kind of duffed it against Iowa last year, which is kind of their moment as Nebraska to sort of say, hey, we're back. Even though they did improve overall in wins, I don't have the data in front of me. They have not had the Big Ten win under him that is proof of concept to then kickstart that extra level of recruiting. He did this at Baylor. Like he rode out the hard times. He got a very Texas-specific staff, by the way, who's now the head coach at Texas Tech and monitoring that giant roster.
He's got real money.
That he breaks into college football under Matt Rule, and Matt Rule goes to Baylor. It's a very savvy move on Matt Rule's part. So I like them a lot. I just don't know. We go back to like talking about quarterback ceiling and realization and all that stuff. Like I don't know if Dylan Raiola is ever going to be whatever it was we thought he would be, but I don't know if he has to be. If he's serviceable and they're winning 9, they'd build a freaking statue for the guy because of this. Nebraska is the Tennessee mirror to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Y'all are sort of linked because of what happened in the 90s and then on. So, I mean, they would settle for Bo Pelini results right now. That's not a joke. I mean, that's not a joke. So,
Crazy.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about the SEC slate coming up this weekend. I want to get into a little bit of Illinois, Indiana as well because
good game.
Very good game.
Yeah.
And the winner of that game has a yellow brick road to the college football playoff as well because of unbalanced.
Because
Big Ten
Bama
schedules.
sucks.
That too.
Yeah.
That helps. More Stephen Godfrey in studio coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls, man. That is the website also, medicalhousecalls.com. They're 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same day appointments available, next day guaranteed. And you're probably asking yourself, why do I need medical house calls? Well, in today's era we live in, man, you're just busy. Work won't let you off to go to the doctor. You don't want to take time off. Your kids' schedules don't allow you to just pull them out of school. Well, guess what? You can go to medicalhousecalls.com or call the Texas number 615-838-2375 to set yourself up for IV therapy. You can also get at-home urgent care, man. Everything from sicknesses, injuries, in-home labs, testing, and more. For a flat fee, you'll get an evaluation, full exam, treatment plan, and prescriptions if you need them. I told you about the mobile IV therapy. Well, guess what? If you're working out or just have a long night on Broadway, well, guess what? You can call them over to your house, get an IV bag, and be set for the upcoming event or week so that you can get yourself back together. Again, convenience is what they're providing you. You can set it up. They'll come to your house or wherever you are to get you together. MedicalHouseCalls.com or call them or text them at this number, 615-838-2375.
What's up, it's Will Bowling. I want to tell you about my new obsession during football season, also known as eating in parking lot season, Daisy French onion dip. I'm telling you guys, if you've been listening to the show, you know I've been talking about this. My guilty pleasure this time of year, it's dips. I chip myself to death very commonly with my appetite. Chips, wings, veggies while watching the big game. Whether you're inside of the watch party, you're grilling out on the porch, or maybe you are heading to a game this weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, or hanging out for primetime football. You got to get some of this stuff. Daisy has come out with a delicious French onion dip and ranch dip. They're as delicious as homemade dips. You're going to think you made them in your own kitchen with the real herbs and spices. And the best news, they are at grocery stores all around you. So make sure you stock up. Get the chips, the pretzel sticks. Justin put me onto those, into the French onion dip. Fantastic as well. The veggies, whatever you're dipping, make sure you're dipping with Daisy French onion dip. Daisy ranch dip at a grocery store near you. Stephen Godfrey in studio talking college football with us. College Football Inquirer, a must listen if you're a college football fan. And if you're listening to us, then we know you are. Tate Matthews coming up in 15 minutes will preview high school football week 5. Midway point of the regular season for a lot of high school football programs tonight. And, of course, Ron Slay in the mix as well at 9:20 this morning. Illinois will play Indiana.
Yes, sir.
In a matchup of two excellent quarterbacks. Luke Altmaier.
Basketball season.
Fernando Mendoza. That's right. Buck Rising comes on after us. He's actively learning probably about the players on his team since he knows the basketball team and not the football team. So, Buck, turn up the radio a little bit if you're out there.
No one goes to Indiana to learn about college football.
No, absolutely not. I like Illinois a lot. And
I do too.
It's kind of one of those things where, like, does returning production mean you are the same team? Those guys are just a year older.
Okay.
Or does returning production mean those guys worked in the offseason and got better and are experienced and ready in a spot like this to elevate that program to another step? I tend to think a Brett Bielema coach team in the Big Ten is this is the kind of spot he thrives in.
Yeah,
games like this.
I think returning production also means that you are retaining quality pieces via, I guess you call it NIL retention or portal or re-signing guys. I don't know. We haven't really figured out our nomenclature on all this kind of stuff. But the fact that you're not turning over and you're successful means that you are kind of mission-oriented, your culture's through the roof. Bielema's a punchline in a lot of circles, but, like, again, ball coach is ball coach, player coach, loved. I'm hesitant to gas up Luke Altmaier because we all wanted to do that last year, and then he kind of got to the meat of the opposition, and there was a significant decrease. But I think this kid has said publicly how broken he was mentally after failing out with Ole Miss. And Barry Lunney, who was the OC at UTSA, when they kind of caught fire as a G5, he had been on the Arkansas staff with Bielema for a minute, has really done a nice job with this offense. They are trollish, and I say that as a compliment. I've watched a lot of Illinois football. They are, they got in Shane Beamer's head. They got in Manny Diaz's head in that Duke game I was talking about earlier. They're smart. They're disciplined. They're not particularly sexy, but they do a lot in the margins to create good opportunities. Now, Duke I keep going back to Duke because that's their only, good data point. Duke had a lot of inexplicable turnovers, but Illinois was also effective enough to take the turnovers and turn it in. This is something you don't see in college a lot because you don't possess it, is long drives after turnovers. It's not just everybody's going to take a shot play after a turnover. I think it's a good philosophy against young secondaries, but grind on them, lean on them, and they can do that really well. I really don't know how these teams match up. There were 7 games, the sort of marquee games this week. So Utah, Texas Tech.
That's what I was going to ask you.
OU, Auburn that we've talked about, and this one and a handful of others where we're at that inflection point where we know you're pretty good. We just don't know how, we don't know where separation's going to be. Right. You mentioned this before the break. This is a path, a golden path, whatever you want to call it, to the playoff because the Big Ten is going to send X and the SEC is going to send X. And you are underneath Ohio State for sure, Oregon for sure.
Who we don't know anything about.
And then Penn State in the mid-range, we assume. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then after that, I've only listed 3 Big Ten teams. So the winner of this game is on, they're on the leader lap or whatever, to pick a sports metaphor. Okay? Sure. So that's... It makes it feel way more important than, we're just starting conference play. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is also where I would push back on critics of the playoff saying it's going to devalue the regular season. I have not felt that at all.
I haven't either.
Yeah. And to take it home for a second, to walk out of Neyland last week, to be instilled with confidence in a loss, which I think a lot of Vols were, and then also understand that your season's not dead. Mm-hmm. It's not we're behind in the SEC East and this and no, none of that. We're done with all that. Right. You can still build towards a significant season this year.
True. No doubt. I did want to ask you about the Utah and Texas Tech. Is Texas Tech really going to do this, or are they the Sultan of Brunei, I think, with 800 cars that he never drives? You know what I'm saying? Have you seen that guy car collection?
Yeah. Melda Marcos and shoes. Yeah.
He's got all these collectibles. Is that what Texas Tech is doing, or do you see this? We don't know yet. I mean,
the industry's going to watch this game. The whole industry. A lot of us are paying attention because this is where you're going to test out I'm going to date myself with this reference. Remember the 97 Florida Marlins? You're a Braves fan. You
Unfortunately,
remember, right? Where they were a mediocre franchise, and in one offseason they said, boom.
What's his name? The pitcher. The black kid. The pitcher.
Dontrell Willis?
Dontrell
D-Train?
Willis.
That was the 2003.
That was later.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my era.
But also the same philosophy.
Also beat the Braves in that.
Yeah, they did. The Marlins did this twice, where they said, 1, 2, 3, we're relevant. We're going to spend our way into one roster for 1 year. It was like they had Gary Sheffield on that team. It doesn't matter. It does not. No one wants to talk about mid-90s Braves baseball. Anyway.
Except my brother is probably listening right now.
Yeah, shout out. Hey, buddy. Can it work for a year? Can it work at all? Can you coalesce free agents? I'm just going to start saying free agents. I'm going to stop pausing. Okay, free agent players. From a line perspective, this is the game to watch. I know Michigan, Nebraska, Big Ten, no. Watch Utah O-line, Texas Tech D-line, because that's a pedigree program for O-line by anybody's standards.
Right.
Think about how many Utah linemen get sent into the league, right?
Big poly era, man. Absolutely.
Sure. Versus a custom purchased bespoke millionaires row on that defensive line. The reason the industry is watching this game is this is your first check on proof of concept.
Right.
Now, you could have a situation, it's possible, where we get to the end of the year and it's, you know what, maybe McGuire wasn't the guy for this. He was the guy, as the ex-Texas high school coach, that could go in and up your base high school recruiting. Oh. And maybe you need, kind of like the league, where you have a coach who's better with a team that's ready to go with veterans, right? You need a veteran head coach. Maybe that's it. But a lot of people are going to be evaluating, is this Texas Tech strategy of spin your way into relevance, is it sustainable? Do the fans, like Cody Campbell's the billionaire who's on the TV, right? You guys, oil and gas guy, played O-line under Mike Leach, right? That's his background story. He can't do this forever. I've sat in a room at Oregon on signing day listening to Phil Knight off the record, and I'll say this now, talk about, I can't be the guy forever. So you can inject into a program. Oh. And the SEC country, listen to this. It doesn't really apply. Maybe a Vanderbilt should listen to this. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying you have a moment, and then you need other people to kind of come in and support it. So This is why we're watching Texas Tech this week, and it's not for the football. Although that O-line D-line matchup is going to be really interesting.
Sure, okay. It's like the spark that Brian Kelly lit when he lost Bryce Underwood to get power players to buy in at LSU.
And we're
going to see if that works. Also,
dude, better. I'm not saying they're better for losing him. But it sure did wake people up at LSU to start managing their NIL better.
100%.
And their GM's one of the best in college football.
That was another press conference that was not for us.
BK?
Talking about, that one back when they lost Underwood, and he's like, well, I mean.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right.
No, I thought you meant the thing the other night. I mean, they're off. I think there's.
That was just.
I think some. This is, I think, so I used to say this on podcasts a lot. I want to be clear here because I get clipped on the internet from the Yahoo show where they'll be like, Stephen Godfrey report. No, there's I think and I feel and I know. So if I know something as a reporter, I think something based on source information I've had, and or this is just a feeling. I feel like Nuss is not healthy.
Torso injury.
Yeah, but I feel like it's like legit.
Yeah, it's more than overuse in the preseason the way they characterized it. Okay.
The good news for them, I think they have Ole Miss next week.
Yes,
is that, and so it starts to get legit, and they're going on the road to Oxford. The defense under Baker is doing the things in year 2 it couldn't do in year 1 because of personnel changes. Right. So I can't believe I'm saying this on any media, and I've done this the second time I've done this. I sided with Brian Kelly on admonishing the local guys for saying, why didn't you score enough points? They went into, in a very NFL type of way, that Florida game and said, this is what we're getting. This is what we can do. Mm-hmm. So if you're playing cards and they throw a 5 and you have kings, throw a 6 and you win.
Yeah.
That's what they did. And they won the game with no problem. They forced Lagway into really confused, really kind of brain fart moments on some of those interceptions because of the disguise pressures. So just win the game that way.
I agree.
And I do think the quarterback, I think there's something wrong there.
I do too.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Stephen Godfrey in studio for the 8 a.m. hour. Hit the podcast if you missed any of it, and also hit up College Football Inquirer, Phantom Island, and the 37 other podcasts that Godfrey's
Do you
been
need
on
me
this
to
week.
yell at you to have faith on the UAB game? Are you good?
I think I'm okay.
Okay. All right.
Trent Dilfer,
It's going great down there.
going really well. Thank you. Good to see you.
Described to me this week as a clown show.
Oh, lovely.
So
I'm so glad.
You guys will be fine.
This is where I'm glad as a Tennessee fan the clown show doesn't
It's not
describe us on the field Saturday. Stephen Godfrey in studio.
Clowns.
Tate Matthews joins us talking high school football next. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Hey, it's Will Bowling. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TD props. For the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get 200 bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code THEZONE. That's code THEZONE. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789. 21 plus, Tennessee only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Well, stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Will Bowling. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases, and here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Just imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It is 9:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Friday. I'm Justin Hawkins. Coming up this weekend, the Tennessee Titans take the field Sunday at Nissan Stadium as they host AFC South Division rival Indianapolis Colts with kickoff set for 12 p.m. Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 a.m. Titans Radio takes over at 11 for Titans Countdown with Lucas Panzica before Taylor Zarzer and Coach Mack have the call at 12. You can hear the coverage right here on The Zone. The Tennessee Vols host UAB tomorrow with an 11:45 Central kickoff at Neyland Stadium. Mike Keith, Ramon Foster have the call for that one, and coverage begins right here on The Zone at 9:15 a.m. The Vanderbilt Commodores looking to start the season 4-0 for the first time since all the way back in 2008. The Commodores host Georgia State tomorrow at First Bank Stadium with a 6:30 p.m. Central kickoff on ESPNU, and Nashville SC plays at Orlando City SC tomorrow night with a 6:30 p.m. first kick. Nashville can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a New York Red Bulls loss or draw. Will Bowling, Eddie Carvalho on the call starting at 6 p.m. right here on The Zone. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 4 this morning, Friday on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Ron Slay is going to stop by. We will get back to Titans discussion in 15 minutes. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, joined as we are every Friday at 9 in the high school football season by our good friend Tate Matthews, presented by Freedom Boat Club. Tate, what is happening? Happy week 5. Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. Beautiful Friday morning out there today, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. It'd be a good day to be a member of Freedom Boat Club today, wouldn't it, Tate?
It's always good to be a member of Freedom Boat Club because they're open 365 days a year, 7 days a week. But the Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee, hey, if you have a boat and you're tired of having to service it, or you're tired of having to pull it out of in and out of the water, or store it in the off season and winterize it, all the things that go with being a boat owner that are no fun, well, Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee's got that taken care of. They've got 12 top tier locations across the state. You can get on 4 lakes here: Old Hickory, Percy Priest, Center Hill, and Timms Ford. You can get them out of East Tennessee as well. They've got all the top lines: Nautique, Harris, Sea Ray, Tyga. And what do? They own the boats. You just use them. You get out, you show up, make a reservation, you show up, the boat is fully stocked, it's clean, ready to go. Enjoy your time on the water, and they take care of everything else. You pay a one-time entry fee, and then you've got monthly dues. Right now is the time to join. August and September are the best times. They're running specials right now, and you can even do things like take out a tri-tune in the morning with the older folk that don't really want to be on the surf boat, turn it back in, and then the second session go out and go surfing with the younger ones. It's a no-brainer. Best thing we've done in years. You can reach out to my friends Mariah, David, and Angie at freedomboatclubtn.com. Boating made simple.
All right, Tate, starting with the Cobras of Kirkwood, who are 4-0. Probably the first time I have asked a question to you about Kirkwood football. A new program up and running. They're 4-0. An undefeated matchup against East Robertson tonight, Tate.
Yeah, I love this matchup. In Kirkwood, they're in their 3rd year of existence as a school up in Clarksville, Montgomery County, for those if they're not familiar with them. But they've had success from the very beginning. Chad Watson is the head coach there, and he's doing a great job. They're 4-0. They're loaded with talent. Everybody knows about Kamari Blair, their big 6'6", 290-pound offensive, defensive lineman. He's a UT commit. He's already got 20 pancakes on the season. I know Ramon loves that.
Yeah.
5 sacks on the defensive side of the ball, and he hasn't played in all the quarters yet due to rain and then also some running clocks that they've had, but they're loaded with talent. Miles Redding, their quarterback, he's a junior. He's already got 13 total touchdowns in 12 quarters on the season. He was a Mr. Football semifinalist last year as a sophomore. He's a guy who can beat you with both his arm and his legs, and so you got to always know where he is. And Josiah Claybrooks, their running back. He's already got 2,700 total yards in his career, and he's a guy that can fly. So, talking to Coach Chase Brooks at East Robertson, the main thing is they got to keep him in front of them, no big plays, and just make him keep snapping the ball. Kirkwood's averaging 32.5 points per game on the year. East Robertson's averaging 30, and when you look on their side as well, they're only 2A, but they're probably the most explosive 2A team in the state. Big plays. They've already got 80-plus yard touchdown passes in each of the last 3 games. Cason Young is their quarterback. He's another dual-threat guy who can beat you with both arm and legs. He's got weapons everywhere. Cade Brooks, Coach Brooks' son, Caleb McNeil are 2 guys that can, if you don't know where they are, they can make you pay. And then has been the story for about the last decade with East Robertson. All you got to know is the last name Groves. There's been a ton of them come through there. They've still got Zay, Chris, and Zach. Those are all guys that can beat you on the offensive side. Zach is a real problem on defense. So battle of 2 4-0s. One's a 2A. Kirkwood's a bigger school, but I think it's going to be a great game tonight. Kirkwood is a beautiful facility. It's going to be a nice night tonight in Clarksville.
No doubt about it, man. Beach at Upperman is another one. Beach got away last week with East, man, and Upperman seems to be having the season they look like they can have also this year.
Man, East got to be the best 0-3 team in the state, right? They've got a big game tonight against Springfield. That'll be a great one as well. But Beach is 2-1. They're at Upperman 3-1, going over to Baxter. I love this game. You got a 5A team versus a 4A team, but I love this game for a lot of reasons, but their 2 head coaches, Anthony Crabtree of Beach and Adam Kane of Upperman, they're good friends. They really respect each other. They actually, their styles mirror each other so much. They both go during the spring and watch the other teams practice, pick each other's brains a lot. Their personalities are really mirror image of each other when it comes to football. But Beach, it's the same thing as every year. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to run it well. Shelton Swafford already has over 100 rushing yards per game and 6 total touchdowns. And Caden Powell is their quarterback of the Bucks. He's huge. He's got to be the biggest quarterback in the state, about 6'5". He's 240 pounds. He's a load. He split time in week 1 against Greenville. And then after that, he won the starting job. He's already got 42 rushing attempts on the year. So, Beach is going to line up with their offensive line, led by Jack Fuchs, of going to Michigan, Penn State, isn't he?
Yep.
And Penn State, yeah, he's a huge offensive lineman. Hunter Smith, Jonas Green, Grady Edwards, and London Parks. That's what you're going to get with Page. You're going to have an offensive lineman that's going to get after you, and Swafford and Caden Powell are going to come at you. Caden Campbell, D.K. Williams, and Wyatt Davis are going to lead the way on defense at the linebacker position, which they're going to have a good game with the Groves boys and Brooks and McNeil. But this ought to be a really fun game. With on Upperman side, Brosnan Chafin at quarterback.
Yeah.
Get back to East Robertson. Sorry, fellas, but Upperman's got another great offense this year as they have the last 3 years. Brosnan Chafin, their quarterback. He's been the starter for 3 years. Everybody knows about him. Georgia State commit, 14 total touchdowns. He's not quite as big as Caden Powell, but he's another one of the really big quarterbacks in the state. And I love that guy, just a winner. If you're talking about a high school football game and I got a fantasy football draft, I think I might take Brosnan Chafin.
Yes.
Number 1. Carmine Phillips, their running back. Everybody knows about him. And Colton Johnson. Elijah Pitts, watch out for my guy. He had a pick 6, 99-yard touchdown last week, and also an 80-yard reception for a touchdown. So he's got a big one. This one story I hate about Upperman this year, Walter Kane, Coach Kane's son, fullback linebacker. He was the leader on both sides of the ball. Tore his ACL last year in week 4, and then tore it again after working so hard to get back. He tore it again on the first play of week 1. So thoughts and prayers out there to Walter for a speedy recovery, man. Losing a guy like that's tough, but this will be a great game. Baxter will be packed tonight.
Coach Kane, a loyal 104.5 The Zone listener as well. One of my favorites in Middle Tennessee high school.
You know where he played high school football, Will?
No, I don't.
He's a Macaulay Blue Tornado.
Okay. All right. Macaulay, who, by the way,
hold that against him.
Macaulay, who lost in Nashville a weekend ago, Tate. How about the Innsworth Tigers pulling off that upset?
I think that raised some eyebrows, didn't it? What a win it was, and to come back from the loss to Nashville Christian School, which They got the number one player in the country, and what a game that was. But still, that's a game that Innsworth expected to win. I think they should have won. So to bounce back and get that win against McCallie, that kind of everybody's got Baylor at number one still, and they should be. But I think that changed some things up in D2 AAA. They got a big game against Lipscomb Academy. Lipscomb Academy got their first win last week against MUS. But as we know, J.C. White, I think, is leading the mid-state in passing yards for Lipscomb. They can score a lot of points. So records don't really look like it, but I think that Innsworth-Lipscomb Academy game is going to be a great game.
And then, Tate, the final game on our list today, Antioch is 4-0. The Bears, with a win over McGavick 34-6 last week. They play Jay Graham's Centennial Cougars tonight. Yes, for those of you who are unfamiliar, that is the former Tennessee running back, Jay Graham, and the Centennial Cougars, who lost a tight one to a good Green Hill team last Friday. Tate, another big non-region matchup there in Williamson County.
I think it's huge, and I think it's another game where Centennial's record is a little bit deceiving, but Antioch's 4-0, and Coach Broom's got the Bears rolling. They've got a great season going on. They're averaging 32.5 points per game on the season, but Centennial's averaging 39.7. Moan, do you know who the offensive coordinator of Centennial is? He's another great University of Tennessee running back.
No.
Monterio Hardesty.
Terrio is that? I did know that. We talked about it. Yes.
Probably teaching spin moves to Centennial running backs.
Exactly.
Bro, he looks like he could still play. I wouldn't want to tackle Jay right now, but Martario looks like he could still go out and play on Saturdays and Sundays. But don't let their 1-2 record fool you. They didn't get to finish their game against Gallatin. They were up in that one, but they've got 2 losses on the year: Green Hill and Stewart's Creek. They're by a total of 5 points. Again, they're putting up 39.7 points. They got a great quarterback in Mitchell Grandjean, who was the starter last year at Page. He's over at Centennial this year, and he's lighting things up. And there's a young man there named Malachi Steele. If he gets daylight, he's gone against anybody in the state, so they got to watch out for them. But then on the Antioch side, everybody knows about Andre Adams, their junior quarterback. He's as good as anybody in the state with his arm and his legs. They've got a guy in Brandon Galladay that he's the same way as Malachi. He gets space. He's going to make you pay. So I think that obviously this is going to be a high-scoring affair, but it's going to be a really good night. It's homecoming night at Centennial. Tyrell Dotson is in town.
Nice.
He's going to be there tonight, and they're going to honor him. So that'll be another great environment as well. But if you don't have a game to go to and you're not quite sure where to go, Antioch and Centennial would not be a bad choice.
I love it. Tyrell Dotson, who was on that Miami Dolphins defense that put a little scare in the Buffalo Bills last night. He is Tate Matthews, joining us Fridays at 9 o'clock, previewing the high school football slate, halfway point of the regular season for a bunch of teams tonight. Thank you, Tate. Appreciate it as always.
Tate.
All right, fellas, safe travels to Knoxville. Ramon, our old buddy Trent Dilfer's coming to Neyland. I don't think he's going to get a very warm welcome.
Nah, we'll thank him for the recruits that we got from him, but that's about it. That's about it, Tate.
All right, boys. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you, Tate. Yes, sir. Tate Matthews with us, presented by Freedom Boat Club, previewing the high school football Friday. And we got a little bit of everything. Some private school matchups, some public school matchups, big schools, small schools. Tate knows it all.
There was also a history lesson to be given. Well, a little info that was given. He mentioned Grady Edwards being on the team. Grady's the bigger brother of your guy, Garrett.
Oh, hey, Garrett. Let's go. I love that. Ron Slay joins us. He's always our guy. Coming up next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk has shifted on you, your driveway cracked and sinking, or your porch steps have moved. Shifting concrete, it can create a dangerous situation, just trip hazard around your home. It's also just a big eyesore. It's Ramon Foster, and whatever's going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time. It's the same company that has provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can also fix your fractures, sunken, or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through the long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company I trust, man. You can go to USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
Ramona Will, the 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Hour 4 on your Friday, which now becomes a Fried Day. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, joined by Ron Slay. Good morning. How we doing?
Man, what's happening, man? What's going on in the world of Ramon and Will, man?
Oh, just hanging out. We've had a busy day, a loaded guest list, which you were a part of. We're glad you're here.
I love how I just come in, you know what I mean, and get to wrap it up. So what y'all do is y'all come on through with the birthday cake, then y'all get everybody to sing happy birthday, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, here come Big Slate popping out the cake. Y'all thought y'all was going to cut the cake, but I'm popping out the cake. That's how we end the week every single time. And homie don't play that. I got my little sock that I'm hitting kids on the head with and everything. You know? Look at my boy. Look at my boy. My boy ready this morning.
I love it. Yeah. I feel like on what was it, PTI back in the day when Tony Reale would come on the end and just say, corrections. This is where you were both wrong. I feel like that's Slay, but like for the whole week.
It is.
Like you get to react to whatever we talk about the whole week. Because I know you're hanging around, you're loitering in the chat, you're talking with people, you're shutting down our haters, you're sometimes encouraging them, in the right context. And then at the very end of the week, you're like, all right, here's what I think about what you've talked about. So, Slay, whatever you got for us, you have the floor. Go for it.
Yeah.
Hey, man, yeah. I'm loving it, man. First and foremost, I thought we was going to come on and talk Titans, and I started getting depressed. I heard I heard when we were like, Slay coming up next, we're talking a little Titan. I was like, oh, hell no, don't put that on me, dog. Like, I'm sitting there telling my PT, Nikki, I do not want to talk about the Titans. If anything I want to talk about is betting. That's the only thing I want to talk about when it comes to Titans. But outside of that, man, dog, I thought, man, I miss my guy. I miss Hubs this morning, man.
Yeah, Hubs is good.
I know he was, man. I hit the snooze button, man, and didn't wait. Yeah, it's a hell of a drug, Savage. Snooze is a hell of a drug, dog. So I got to stay away from that. But I did hear, what's my guy name?
Godfrey.
Godfrey, yeah. Godfrey was good, man. Godfrey was good. He let it be known what he thought about UCLA and everything. But all that's fun and well. My thing is, man, when y'all was talking about the quarterbacks, it's funny because Kirk Herbstreit was on with Joey Galloway, and he was talking about Marcel Reed. Mm-hmm. It's funny what nationally they pick up on and what we pick up on locally. Like, none of this, to me, or us, is a surprise with Marcel Reed. And I'm saying this because I wanted to go down the avenue of quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, in the SEC, the ones that have showed up, the ones that have not. When you look at Marcel, man, he came out, people thought he was a runner. But I thought he nuked all of that last year when playing LSU in Florida. Like, he showed everybody, like, we'll run 3 plays on y'all and beat y'all. Like, we're going to read option, RPOs, and hit up the seam, put it in windows. Like, I don't understand how everybody thought that was a fluke when he did it on that type of stage when he wasn't expected to, and he had nowhere near the receivers that he has now. So it's crazy watching everybody kind of pick up on him and him getting his just due. But who was the biggest surprise for y'all, though? Quarterback-wise in the SEC.
Good way or in a bad way?
Good and bad, both.
Want to go good first?
Good is Joey Aguilar.
Good would be
and how good he's been.
Pribula.
Yeah, Pribula. Yeah. At Missouri.
Missouri. Those are my goods. Watch him. And the other part, I want to throw John Mateer in there too, but Godfrey brought it to our attention. Like, it hadn't been a whole lot, I guess, from, I mean, the Michigan game does play a part in it for sure, but like.
There's a lot more still to prove.
There's a lot more to prove on that. Yeah, but I'll throw him in there too. I always do more than one. I'm silly like that. You ask me one, I'm going to give you 5 answers. It's just me.
That's what I expect from you, Savage. Well, okay, who is y'all bad?
Arch.
Arch.
It's got to be, right? I mean, like, and I know it's not just Arch at Texas. Like, that offensive line replaced a lot and hasn't looked as good as I think a lot of us expected. The explosiveness at receiver and the lack of explosiveness, I mean, they lose Isaiah Bond and Matthew Golden, but they don't look like they have a bunch of blue chips at receiver, even though on paper they do. Mm-hmm. And Jamie French and some of those other guys in that program, like, Arch looks like he forgot how to throw a football. And it's like, Like, I want to stop short of saying he has the yips, but, like, it's not far away from that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, man? The reason I asked y'all this is because coming into this season, I think the runaway favorites were who y'all didn't mention, Nussmeier.
Well, I ain't mentioned mine yet. Lagway. Lagway.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Lagway. Okay, that's your bad, Savage?
That's my bad. I was told Lagway, you wanted Billy Napier fired because you wanted Lagway out of the SEC.
Right.
As in, like, as non-Florida fans.
Yeah, as non-Florida fans.
Exactly.
Yeah. Us Florida haters.
Fans, yeah. I think, man, when you look at it, it shows the importance of, when you're talking about Lagway, man, it shows the importance of them disclosing injuries.
Yes.
And not disclosing injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did hear, rumbles of Arch dealing with something as well. And Lagway not practicing in the spring, not being able to really go into preseason. It's kind of showing now, man, and it's a telltale sign of these guys. I also think, man, one of the things that kind of got overshadowed was the offensive line for Lenore Sellers. Like, you can have Superman all you want to, but if you ain't got a little bit of protection, like, where's he going to change and to put his cape on? He only get an opportunity to take his glasses off and put his cape on no more. His line won't even protect just to do that. So I think, man, and I think some of the guys that y'all hitting on, Prabula, yeah. Like, but I think what's always disguised by drink is when they got a bell cow running back, they a problem.
Yeah. Ahmad Hardy.
They a problem. Yeah, and when they don't have one, it shows too, as you saw last year. Like, you got to have that guy. Now, I don't know what it is with his offense that it may be similar to Heupel. Like, the quarterback gets highlighted, but it's really that running game that gets that quarterback going. So,
100%.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But, yeah, that's what I wanted to hit on, man. So I'm wide open for you guys, man. Whatever y'all want to do, let's get it on stuff. The Parslays hit last night, you know what I mean? So, just throwing that out there, Hawks, Louts, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Me and Daniel son had a good conversation, man. We did it. I just want everybody to know we do this for y'all.
Daniel Son is Justin, our producer, for those who are unfamiliar.
That's my boy.
But see, Savage, you did this and call him Daniel Son. Y'all not even equals just yet? I'm picking up what you're putting down is what I'm doing.
No, listen, we've had talks, man, that we don't necessarily let everybody in on, you know what I mean? But when we get out and the lights get on, I mean, somebody got to go out there and fight, and somebody got to teach. I just prefer to be the teacher on the side and let him do the flying crane, you know?
Hey, you're not going to have my producer hold your back pocket, okay? Because I call in and talk to Zeph. We are very cordial, okay?
Hey, Sam, just a good day, man. My palm been itching. That's all I'm saying, man. Everybody that know old school, they got their grandmamas and everything. They tell you your palm itching. You know what's on the way.
Money on the line. Money on the line.
Slay, where are you at with this Titans team and the balance that they've got to hit between the best version of the Titans on offense right now is just letting Cam do some crazy stuff that's not really planned and just letting him figure it out, but also the risk you take that Cam might take another 15-yard sack on first down if you try to really open it up and give him the full keys to the car. Like, is it to the point now where Brian Callahan has to say, drive, go, we're going on the freeway, let's see it? Or are you still just hanging around on the back roads and hanging out in the church parking lots to try to get Cam the right to do a lot of the crazy stuff on first and second downs and take more risks?
First and foremost, let me tell you what I feel like. I feel like I'm trying to take off in a hot air balloon and this bunch of kids with bow and arrows, and you telling them, don't fire at him. And they just keep firing. I keep on trying to take it. I'm never getting on nowhere when we start talking Titans like this. I'm just blowing hot air into a balloon with holes all in it. I'm just pumping hot air. But to your point, man, Cam, listen, I think, man, when it comes to Cam Ward, at some point, like, you got to take what the numbers show you. And I think Coach Hill did a great job of breaking it down yesterday. Because when watching film, like, I thought, and this is me not having a football eye, that pass to Alec Ayamana on the sideline, he was like, that was a timing route. Like, he was going there. No ifs, ands, or buts. But when watching all 22, to me, Calvin really was wide open underneath. But that's what the play is drawn up to do, to go to Ayamana. It's no ifs, ands, or buts, whether it's back shoulder or a fade. So I think the success of Cam, a lot of that hinges on what's the play being called too. You know what I mean? And him not having enough experience to say, all right, bump that play, let me get up here. As he was in the preseason when he got used to it, now you're seeing stuff that's unscripted, so you don't know what's coming. So you got to trust the play call even more than you just being able to go up to the line and understand that you can audible out of it and, hey, maybe I'll dink and dunk my way out of this, or maybe I see something and I'm going to take this shot. So this right here is going to be it's going to be experience as it goes. He's going to have to pick up on it as it goes. If he fails or if he's successful, it's all going to have to go into the memory bank, man. And I don't think we see the growth until like week 7 or 8 now.
Are you, I just looked at it, man. Are you disappointed in the start that Calvin Ridley's had? 14
Absolutely.
targets, 7 catches, 84 yards for a number one wide receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny thing about it is I don't feel like we're getting the pushback on him. We're blaming. I don't know what we're blaming it on. It's almost like he's just not out there in a sense. And you can't have that with wide receiver one. I know when we look at it and we see Alec Ayomana, him ascending, like, where's everybody else?
Yeah.
Like, where's Lockett getting in the pockets, you know what I mean, and sitting down and getting them 5 or 6 yard catches? Where's the separation from Calvin Ridley? When he first arrived, like, that's what I was enamored about. Like, this dude right here, his separation from guys, even when it looks like he's coasting. When the ball's in the air, he had another button. It was like hitting the turbo button on Madden. Like, I'm gone. I don't know if we don't see that. That's why I go back to, is it the play design or what? I have no earthly idea, man. I don't know if they need to go to the point where they just say, hey, y'all two link up. Let's play backyard football. We know we coming to you, Calvin. If we got the matchup, let's get to it like similar to what, and listen, I'm not putting them in the same class, but when we're watching y'all play, Savage, I always go back to the Steelers, and if it's supposed to be a 10-yard out, AB may run an 8-yard out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But him and Ben were on a page where they could get that done and understand exactly what they were going to be doing. So maybe they need to get on that type of page and just go play football instead of running exactly what's designed. I mean, does that take the other guys out of it, dude? I mean, I don't know, but you're not going to be successful if you got a QB1 franchise guy and you don't have a wide receiver one.
Will mentioned that earlier. Will's just like, let him sling it.
I mean, at this point, like, the risk you're taking might just be worth it. Like, this team is at its best when Cam is creating off script and making high level throws. And yeah, you might take a big sack on an early passing down, but Slay, this team is passing at the 20th highest rate on first downs in the NFL. Yeah. I don't think they're going to break out of this, and like they're just in too many 3rd and longs. That's the thing at this point. And I know you're taking a risk. You might put yourself in more, but also are you avoiding 3rd down altogether if you can hit some explosive plays and start to move the football a little bit more efficiently?
Yeah, I feel that. I'm totally with that. At some point, you got to say scrap it.
Yeah.
And let's just get that feeling back. The same way Callahan gets to the podium and says, "Man, we just need to get that win, to get that feeling."
Right.
Well, we need to get that play to get
drive.
that feeling.
Right.
Yeah, that drive to get that feeling, like what we did. Was it? No, it was our
Minnesota
preseason game on Minnesota.
Yep.
It was like, oh man, like this it. If we can bottle that up, man, we going. And it looked like on that series, like they were just playing football. They were just playing football. So I don't know who's in control of the rhythm. You know what I mean? How they get on the same page or what? But shoot, it's something got to be done, dog. Because this ain't fun watching. People figure it out. I'd rather, like you said, just let them go play instead of figuring it out every single play.
And it comes down to, too, like, these are two really good defenses you've played, so you don't want to scrap too much because a lot of who the opponent is has forced mistakes and has forced problems. And experience is the best teacher for Cam and for anybody in the NFL, as we know. But as Cam starts to earn more freedom, Slay, that's what I'm really interested in seeing, because like Shannon Dawson, the Miami offensive coordinator, was on the record of like, he was a hard guy to coach because you could tell him to do this or that, but Cam's going to do what Cam's going to do. And that's got to be hard. And I know you in basketball as well have seen players that the coach may have something drawn up, but that margin of good to great, that margin for the Titans of not good to getting back to solid, is in players just making plays and throwing the script out when the play starts to break down. Because everybody has their plan A things that are going to work on script. Like Brian Callahan's drawing up good stuff. But what is it from a player perspective? Like the point guard Slay you would have played with that, hey, when the play breaks down, there's 5 on the shot clock, what happens? Like that's the kind of freedom and interpretation of like, no, when there's 5 on the shot clock, a.k.a. when DeForest Buckner's in my face this weekend, what does Cam do then on the play within the play?
I think it's so many times, man, you walk away from the huddle comparing it to basketball and you say, hey, man, hey, coach, we got to stop running plays. Let us just go play. Let us get out there on instinct. You know what I mean? Yes, we're going to have structure to it. We'll make sure the floor is balanced. It's the same thing in football. You got to go tap back into what grasped you when you were sitting there on the sideline and he came to you and said, this right here going to be the separator. What was he doing then? How can you get that fun back into it? Because right now everybody's pressing. Everybody's pressing into it. Like, it don't even look like Cam is free flowing and, you know what I mean, having fun, talking to guys, pointing at guys and things of that nature. Like, you got to get back to that and tap into that. If you can do that, and it may come with throwing the script out. We're professionals, man. We know how to have structure. We understand, like, the field has to be balanced. We got to have the whole line in sync. We understand all that. But, man, let's just go play. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to necessarily, once you get into the floor of the game, I understand the first 10, 15 plays. All right, I get that. But after that, man, like, let's go with the floor of the game, man. I might see something, like you're saying. I might see something we'll need to go with. Like, let's go attack this guy. So, yeah, you got to put the power in his hand. You trusted him to go get him one, and that's what reeled you in.
At this point, what we've seen from this offense, the best version of this team is when Cam is doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It might also be the worst version of the team, but you got to go with what the ceiling tells you at this point, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And you may have to get away from being like, I love Tony Pollard to death. You know what I mean? And let's run them. But you might have to just say, you know what I mean, scrap that. But we're a passing team. you got a gunslinger, but you still trying to pound the rock. Like that's one way to take all the responsibility and everything off Tony Pollard. Let the quarterback go. Let him work.
Ron Slay, you get him 3 to 6. You get him on your television sets. You get him here on the show at 9:20 every Friday. Good to hear from you as always. Appreciate your thoughts on the week, and we'll do it again next week.
No doubt, baby.
All right.
Peace.
Later.
All right.
Ron Slay here with us this morning.
Yeah, spitting right there, man.
It's been kind of the theme of the day in the Titans is, are you at a point of desperation to take some risks on offense?
That's a strong place. That's a strong play, to be quite honest with you.
We're going to find out.
No huddle. Do it.
I think tempo is the answer.
Yep.
I think that is a middle ground between throwing out a lot of the script for Cam to just have more freedom.
I agree.
Yet also being who you are, just maybe doing it a bit quicker to make Cam feel more comfortable. Final call for phone calls, 615-737-1045 as we wrap up the week next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Band. Nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical emergency. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost if it'll get fixed, right? Or if somebody's trying to sell you something you do not need. But when you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly. And the price you're told is the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises on your bill. And I book with Hiller myself, man. They bring the tablet to you, itemize everything, the work they've done, service, everything, man. And it's so simple, so honest, so upfront. They've been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. Their techs are professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And they're all background checked and drug screened too. And when they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech that's coming to your house and a link to track them in real time. So it's no more wasting time waiting around to get what you need done. The motto is happy you'll bill, the service is free. Listen, to book with a company that you can trust, simply visit happyhiller.com.
Wrapping up the show, Ramona Will on 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Buck Rising show up next. Cover 2 with Blaine and Zach. After that, 3HL on your Football Friday. We go to the phones as we wrap things up. Mayor Ron is up first.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's just get right to it. My fellow Titans fans, well earned is what Coach Mack had to say. Into the ring of honor goes Mike Keith Sunday. This divisional game is a must to have hope. We lose this one, no relaxing, we have to cope. 15 scripted plays make us a good first half team. Then Callie calls the second half, and it's bye-bye dream. Cameron is on pace to be sacked 90 times. Come on, defense. On his back goes Danny Dimes. Callie, you can keep your job. Just let Cam run the show. Let it flow. Let yourself go. Slow and low, Cam, that is the tempo. The deja vu of our right tackle and the consistent falling underhand pass. Cameron was the first to execute that Callie play with class. So, Ramon, put him to sleep. Voice that Barry White. We're going to play for 2 halves and give the Colts a hell of a fight.
Well done.
Mayor Ron.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate the call.
Ron. Way to end it, man.
Thanks for hopping in.
That was good. The Barry White thing. Oh, yeah.
Weirdest thing that we've had happen in this show in a long time.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
If you missed it yesterday, hit the podcast. We go to Tighten Up next. What's up, Tighten Up?
Hey, y'all. Hey, man, I would say that Cam is going to save Callahan. I think all the players are going to gel and get it together, but it's a reason why they had Callahan listed as the worst coach in the NFL. And he ain't did nothing to prove them wrong, but I really believe that Cam will save Callahan's job.
Thank you, Tighten Up.
Right.
Appreciate the call.
We got to see good first.
We will
consistently see good.
I think there's this idea out there that Cam is the only good thing about this team and that everything else around it's just a disaster. I don't think that's fair. I don't think the narrative that Cam is too good for the Titans is a fair one because Cam is still a rookie quarterback that is also missing some layups that are open. And that's not an overly critical thing to say of Cam. He's a rookie quarterback. What do you expect?
Yeah.
But fair. I hope that Cam keeps everyone in place because continuity is important for this franchise right now. Peyton is up next with the final call of the morning. Hey, Peyton.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just my thoughts on Sunday and going forward. I have a feeling that if the Titans go out there and they look miserable, like they kind of have in the second half of games, and Daniel Jones comes in here and hangs 35, 40 points on us, and this is our last home game until I think October 19th, and that's when Vrabel comes to town. If Vrabel doesn't get Callahan fired, the lack of progress probably will before that, because Amy Adams is not going to have fans looking back at her like they did in Philadelphia with A.J. Brown, giving her the double birds if we get our butts kicked by Mike Vrabel. So I just feel like this is a pretty crucial stretch for the Titans if they want to keep everybody in house. That's just my thoughts.
That's true.
Thank you, Peyton.
I agree.
This is a really important game to build some momentum because you need to get one of those road games too.
Need some breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Yep. Because I think there is upward mobility potential in late October through November when you don't leave the city of Nashville. But you got to stay within contact.
Yeah.
Like it's what coaches would tell me as a cross-country runner or track runner. Like, hey, just get up in that group. Stay in contact. Because the blinders go on and you feel like you're just so far removed from the entire division when you're 0-4, 0-5, 0-6. Like, just give yourself a chance to be in the hunt. Ramon, I said it in the summer. My goal is to be in the hunt graphic by Thanksgiving when I see a cornucopia on the screen. In order to do that, Sunday is a game that before the season you would have said, yeah, that's very winnable. And while I still think it is winnable, it's a much bigger challenge than you thought it was going to be when the season started.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see. Have a good call tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy.
Hey, good luck to you this weekend, too, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Going to be a fun one in Nissan Stadium, and excited to celebrate Mike Keith throughout the broadcast as well. I'll have a pregame visit with Cody Barton, which you will hear on Farm Bureau Health Plan's Titans Countdown. And, of course, my weekly visit with Mike Bergonzi as well. Should be fun.
No doubt.
Tennessee UAB tomorrow. Ramon Citizen.
Y'all know what we do on Fridays, man. Man, call your people. Call somebody and apologize to them. I'm sure we need to buy somebody a random drink. Have a random conversation. We are more alike than the media make us be different. I don't care if you left, you right, you black, you brown, you white. Don't matter. Love each other. ELE. Everybody love everybody. But make it back to us on Monday. Peace.